much too early, or it's far too late. Maybe I'm too old now, or just afraid that you'll walk away. It's much too early, or it's far too late. Maybe I'm too old now, or just afraid that you'll walk away. You're across the room from me, but it's an ocean wide, and the current's pulling us, dragging me aside. Or you're a constellation, and I'm just a star, blinking in the universe, but you'll never notice me at all. Even if the words don't come out, they're here inside my head, stuck inside my mouth.
Hello, we're live. We're live with the Avast Sub Tournament 5. It's big. I'm not green screened in, so you just see a green screen behind me. And beside me, as you can see, wait, I'm looking at the wrong side. Solomon's
Hi.
on that side of me. So we have to intro the tournament here a little bit. Just a little bit. Maldo won, thank you for the tier 1. Also Freya and Solomon in the beginning. Joining the subs. The person running my tournament was not subbed, apparently. But that's...
I was subbed, but I just subbed.
Oh, it just subbed again. I see. So we have the 5th sub tournament. It's bigger. It's better. The branding's gotten weirder. In fact, there's dead wives supposedly in the branding now. I don't know what's going on with the branding with some of these teams, but Neiman, thank you for the tier 1. So is it smellier? No, it's not smellier. But let's run through the format here, Solomon. We have to run through the format for the viewers because we got a lot of different streams. We've got a more complex, more crazy, more Rube Goldberg type of machine. So let's run through the format. We start with a Swiss stage, correct?
Yeah, we do. If you remember Sub Tourney 4, we had a group stage. This is kind of that on steroids. You can see it's roughly grouped into 4 sections. We have our first section, which is our first round of Swiss. That'll be starting now. We're starting all of that first row, so Selfish Gaming versus Disruptors on this stream. Fadeless versus Sadly Vibes, so Tim versus Josh will be on the B stream right now. Monkey Flop versus Do This IRL, which is Jordan versus Rika, which is also another good match, will be on the C stream. Blue Screen versus Gentlemen's Clubs will not be streamed, but they will be on a stream later on. And then after that, we'll then do that second row. And once we've done that, we'll then have a look at our standings. And as you can see, they are, empty. No games played.
They looked a little empty there. So how it works then to further distill it is that we do have to get because how the Swiss system works is that, we match them based off wins and losses, like throughout each team as they play. So the first 2 teams, with Selfish and Disrupt and Fadeless and Sally Vibes, that will just get played, and then we have to do like some calculations. We have to hit the numbers. We have to math them, and then figure out what the next matchup's going to be. So we'll probably hit like a small break, like anywhere between like 4 or 5 minutes, something like that. And then we'll go into the third match of the day. So there are a total of 3 matches today, correct?
Yep, we're doing 3 matches today. The first 2, obviously, because it's the first round, we know what they are. So after the Selfish Gaming returns, we'll have Hamster Zone versus Techie's team Grimm Coven. And then the third game we will see, depending on the matches that are set up after 8 o'clock. We'll see what we're doing. But we have 3 streams. If I can find which one tells everyone about it. I don't know if I have the one that tells everyone about it.
Well, we can say them aloud. We can still say them aloud. It's the Bad Patchy Mario League stream and also BPL_2. Those are the B and C streams. There it is. There we have cards. We got cards. So these are the cards. We're having 3 separate streams going on right now. Also, I have to give some thanks to Silver Sound. Thank you for the Prime. Robe. Thank you for the tier 1. And Aware. For 11 months. I'm aware. Anyone else aware? So now, we've introduced the teams. We have 3 streams going on. We know it's Swiss system. Is there anything else that the people need to know?
Oh yeah, I found it. So C-Stream, you can even see a preview of your casters for these.
So
we'll check in with this as we go throughout the tournament. You'll be able to see things on all the different channels. Loads of good content. It's actually only like 16 matches away from an entire BPL season. So that's a lot of...
We're doing it all in one weekend. In a single weekend, we're going to be pumping the observers and the production crew with methamphetamines to keep them awake the whole time. Like so it's going to be Mad Max, Fury Road type of style. Not Evan, thank you for the Prime. So we got big matches. We got very big matches. Chat, who are your favorites to win? Huh? Or who are just your favorites? Put their favorites in the chat below. How about you let me know? And will it influence it? Maybe. Perhaps I'll pull some strings. And we'll hit a lag switch in the other teams. And then they'll lose. But, just let me know what your favorites are. Oh, me smile. I just want everyone to have fun. Wholesome 100. I think Linkser will win it all. Is Linkser in this tournament?
As far as I'm aware, no. But
I know Albert is in this tournament. I know we've got in Dicko mode in the tournament. He told me today at the office that Dicko mode is in this tournament, apparently. So
which is kind of crazy.
Interesting.
Yes, he is. He's on... I don't remember. Someone in chat will tell me what team he's on. He's on Turkey's team, I think. Yeah, so he'll be on the second match today. So you'll be able to see Dicko Mode live here on the Avast channel.
Okay. Yeah, I know we have Kresnik. But Kresnik, he's not really been active while Albert still technically plays Overwatch at times. So it was a strange thing for him to tell me that. But I guess he is off rolling at least, so he's not like bringing up the SR incredibly amount by any means. Well then, where does that leave us, Solomon? Where does that leave us? Where do we go from here?
Well, I think we can get into the first game. Kresnik's in chat as well. Hi. Dicko Mode will eat me alive. I hope we get that matchup at some point.
You know, I'm really glad we can get these words together in that sentence. Dicko Mode will eat me alive, said by Kresnik, running a collegiate esports program. I'm glad that we can get all of these words together in that sentence at this moment in time, because I think in other moments of time, those words would not make any sense, but they do make sense here. So we do have the first matchup then, which is Selfish Gaming versus Disrupt. Both teams, Selfish Gaming, by the way, has Kresnik, correct? That's the team with Kresnik?
Yes.
Yes.
This is the team with Kresnik, who will be playing and is in the lobby right now, I can see.
Both these teams, I loved the branding for. I think all the branding for the teams that were selected was fantastic. There's even the ones that weren't selected. Branding was very, very good for this one. So, you know, marketing departments, be on the lookout for the next. Generally, the Avast Sub Tournament is the proving grounds for new organizational hires. We just farm out people to go work in esports. So, be on the lookout.
I'm even going to bring in the casters for this first game, and you guys can give me what you think. So, hello to Worst and Rose, who'll be taking this one.
Hello, how are we doing? As you can see, I am working through experimental lighting situation, aka Windows suck, man, but also happy to be here. And he said, what do we have to say about this? Well, President, if you don't know, second place in the Alienware Monthly Melee March to Rogue. And I don't see any Rogue players here. So I think we're going to see Crescent take it all.
What year was that, by the way?
2017?
2017 in March.
Irrelevant.
Relevant. So I like the lighting situation. It's very noir now. And Rose Hour, I don't see your lighting situation. It's more of a standard graphic, but that's fine. It's still a very good graphic. So we have a big match coming up here between these two squads. So we've heard the backstory, perhaps. Now, you know, what are our thoughts on this matchup? Rose Hour, how about you lead us out? What are the thoughts here? Who are we looking out for in this match?
Well, obviously for Selfish, Distortion, particularly. The big leadership figure behind that and the first round pick overall for this team. Well known in this community as one of, if not the smartest player in the circuit. You know, he's a fantastic support player. Often, you know, other captains have said that he's one of those players that, you know, when you really enable him in a team environment, he can really level up your whole roster and not only just carry from his position, but really just enhance the whole team environment as well as just how you approach the game.
Okay. And Worst, let's hear then, if you're going to highlight one player, who are you highlighting? Is it Kresnik?
Well, no, I've already kind of said, like, Kresnik, everyone obviously knows him from the time on Paladins, obviously. So I kind of want to say I've played with a lot of these players, I've worked with a lot of these players, and I've cast a lot of these players. But in particular, I want to see for Disrupt a player called Dux. Now, a lot of people in the community from BPL know them, but I personally worked with them as kind of a coaching figure for their team in BPL Season 3. They got second place to an awful start to that season, and one of the biggest things was Dux, low SO player, very flexible and very, very good. And I really hope to see them and kind of like show it up, but I don't know if they will. There's Lylem on that team who I actually played with in the previous event we just had in Winter Showdown for S-League. Very good as well, and Fungin. So might not get playtime, but definitely someone to put an eye on. Even with low SR, very strong player.
Okay.
I actually wanted to talk on Lylem specifically. Going as the third pick for Disrupt, and really a quite underrated player in my opinion. Just a phenomenal support player. The support lineups for both of these teams are pretty heavily stacked, especially by Sub Tourney standards.
And meta-wise, what are we expecting to see from these squads here? Are we expecting to see like a particular style? Are they very flexible? What should the viewers be looking for?
I think it'll be... You can go.
For Selfish, obviously the tank line with Kresnik in the mix is going to be a big question as to what they're going to sort of opt into, whether it's more the stuff that Kresnik was historically known for 5 years ago, or
Very
they're gonna
relevant
try to
today.
stick it to no, of course, or whether they're going to try to stick it more to the more ball favored meta of 2022, and well, not of Overwatch 2, but who's to say with that?
Okay. And worse, would you agree with that? Do you think that's probably going to be the direction they're going in?
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think right now we've kind of had this meta for 2 years where it's like very map dependent. You see very map dependent meta currently, and I think also player dependent. What players do we see come in? And what kind of strengths do they have? I mean, most recently in BPL, if you want to talk about, a lot of ball was played for some teams, and some teams were like, we don't like ball. We're going to be playing rush comps. We're going to play double shield comps. We want to stay away from ball because maybe we don't have a carry tracer, right? Because that's really the enabler for a ball comp is a carry tracer player. And sometimes you just don't have that. But it's really going to be map dependent, and I don't know what map we're starting on. So honestly, up in the air.
That's good. That's a good start. I don't want anyone to know what's happening at any point. I want it to be chaos across all the boards. By the way, Solomon, do we have an update on what's the current status of the teams? Are we getting close to getting into the lobby? I'm listening to the man in my ear, to the British man. Hello? Almost there, but we have a video. Perfect. Well, let's watch a video. I love
Come on. Give a half. Nice. Lucio, cast this time. Just cast.
Cast.
Oh, we're live. Okay, very good. We were told the time. I don't know. They were told the second count. I don't watch seconds. I don't know how much time that is. I don't really know exactly what that means. So I'm just gonna stare at the camera awkwardly. So that's on production. That's not our fault, worst. Okay, that's not our fault. That's not we did our job perfectly. We're looking beautiful. We're standing here. Okay, that's on production. Well, now that we've seen the hype vid, did that influence any minds? No, I don't know if it did for you, worst. Did it influence mine?
I mean, I love these teams, both these teams. I would say I do love Disrupt's team a little bit more from like a team cohesion perspective. I don't know the state of Kresnet in Overwatch. I know of Kresnet in Overwatch. I don't know what they're kind of looking for, what they're maybe you have more insight into like what kind of a leader figure they are for a team, but I don't know that. I know a lot of the personalities on Disrupt, and I know that they should be actually pretty well for the most part, and I think they should be a strong, cohesive team.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's ask you, Rose, then, because he says they're cohesive, but yet their name is Disrupt.
I was actually going to point out the little bit of irony in that.
Well, I beat you to it.
Yeah, too quick with it. But regardless, actually, that roster video answered some of the questions I had about Disrupt initially with the Tomathan, Gurgler, and Pivot tank line. Who was really going to be taking up what role, and it looks like we are going to see Tomathan more opting into the main tank or the off tank rather, and Gurg on the main tank. And also the DPS line, very stacked, very consistent. Azure, another underrated player. I would say the main theme of Disrupt is players who maybe aren't fully appreciated for the damage they can really do. And, I think second counts, time in general, it's all an illusion. We're about to watch a match of Overwatch with Kresnik in the lobby. We've said this several times, but this is
Oh, we got player cams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
We have
my
the
god.
That's not
technology.
Duck's player cam.
That's looking. Yeah, no, that seems like Lex. I think that seems right. I mean, and Ducks, like both those seem like real. I mean, Ducks is just standing really, really still and looking into the camera, so that's good. I'm a big fan. I like that distortion as well. Is that a dart monkey from Bloon's tower defense? Very nice, very nice. Oh, look, and now we have people staring into the camera. Now that we pointed it out.
Thanks.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm quite excited for this matchup now. I feel like it's a clash of history, like we pointed out here so far. What's our ETA potentially to get into the server, Mr. Production? Almost there.
Gamers get ready challenge. Impossible.
Yeah. Are you a hashtag Kroger family fan for Team Disrupt, or are you? What was the Selfish Gaming motto? Do you remember? What was their line? Did we have a line for them? I'm not quite sure what it is. But
Get fished.
Get fished? Was it get fished? That just sounds. That sounds like. Isn't that a? That doesn't sound right. That sound. But it sounds funny though. I do like it. Well, let's just make up our own. Here. Rosehour, what is Selfish Gaming's tagline?
Selfish Gaming?
What is it?
I don't know. My brain is still stuck on.
Oh, it's gone
mental
fishing.
image.
Apparently, it's gone
well,
fishing.
There,
There you go. You don't have to make it up. You don't have to come
That's
up.
where they were this entire time. They're just gone fishing and they're finally back.
Well, then let's get some predictions then for our impromptu deaths. Predictions. Selfish Gaming Disrupt. We'll start with you, Worst. What is it going to be? Who's taking it?
Well, starting out on Oasis, so I'm going to be taking Disrupt in this one. Hashtag Kroger family. That's where I'm at. They're going to bring home the dub.
Okay, Rosehour, what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really can't understate the impact I feel Distortion's going to have for this Selfish Gaming roster as a whole, so I'm going to have to go with that.
Okay. And then before I give my prediction, I'm going to read something in chat saying, Vast, when was the last time you took a bath? Never, because I'm not a Victorian nobleman. So I don't take baths. I take showers. So that's the first thing. And I'm going to predict Selfish Gaming because I like their branding. I like Kresnik. And I just like their general vibe and everything. So that's kind of my vibe for them. So we got a kind of a split desk, I'd say, because we don't have an overwhelming majority. I don't consider, if it's a 3-person desk and 2 vote one way, I don't consider that overwhelming. It has got to be up to 3-person to be overwhelming, in my opinion. So I think the opinion is pretty split here. Solomon, are we ready to get into the match? Almost. We're almost ready to get into the match. So fair enough. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to read up. I'm sorry, Rosehour, and Worst, but I'm gonna read out some subs that happened while you guys.
Get your bread.
So let's read out subs here. So I think I already said hello to Not Evan for the Prime for 26, but thank you. Also got Deflect_ZA for the tier 1, and we had one more. I believe it was Krokos. Yes, Krokos at the tier 1 for 17 months. So thank you, because once again, this is the Sub Tournament, and you can see the map set here. It's Oasis, and then we have Hybrid and Escort if we do go to, because I'm assuming these are BO3s, correct? We didn't talk about that actually. These are BO3s, right?
It's first to 2 format, yeah. So
oh, it's first to 2.
It can go to 4 maps if they tie Hybrid, but yeah.
Don't do that, guys. We have a schedule. Don't tie.
We have a lot.
Yeah, just don't tie. Just don't.
Just don't tie.
Forehead.
Oh, here we
and
are.
we're in match. Okay, so I'm handing it off to Worst Cast and Rosehour.
Hey.
Good luck, Godspeed, and everything else in between.
Thank you, Mr. Avast, as we are going to be getting in here on the wonderful Oasis Gardens, and Selfish Gaming taking on Disrupt to start out Sub Tournament number 5. A little bit late, but never too late to start, as we're going to have a fantastic match here.
Yeah, no, it's a first day, first matchup of firsts for a few of these players. You know, Azure, new to the captain role. Let's see how she can adapt to it.
Warp is spinning, what the...
Whoa. Taking a little bit through space and time there. Again, time is an illusion. We are in a reality where Kresnik is on Diva, and we're paused, so time is just going to freeze.
Yeah, we were totally not... Okay, so guys, we are going to be taking a pause here. Going to be seeing what that issue is, but we saw Oasis. I already forgot. I just had a moment there where I forgot what comps they were running. Honestly,
I believe it was Ball Diva Dive on
both sides.
Ends. Yes.
Good start. Yeah,
very
thank
good
you.
Start indeed.
Yeah, production has it on time. We are going to kind of see how this Ball Diva is going to work out. How that helped both these teams. I think with Lux mouse issue.
Oh, thank you, Lux.
Thank you. Thank you. We do not want to have an Unco pause, by the way. That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Don't mention it. Yeah. So many historic moments in Overwatch caused by brilliant little tech delays. But speaking of Lux, DPS line for Selfish Gaming, Lux, Pangolex, Kaden, very well-known players. They're known quantities. They're firecrackers, all of them. I still, though, in the raw DPS lineup, I have to kind of favor Lily and Wi-Fi just because of how flexible both of them are, and again, how consistently Lily is sort of pigeonholed as a B-League demon, but extremely mechanically sound.
Emphasis on the demon, I think. Obviously, just came off winning Winter Snowdown, a B-League, with their Team Draw 4. Was really the main driving factor for that team, I think, was Lily, and a lot of the kind of who's now Azure, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But it's the main driving force, and on this Cassidy is looking to really just shut people down. It was actually the Rush going to come out here for a disrupt, as they are now trying to take control of this point. But the disconnect has helped them out immensely as they're able to take in this small corridor. So exactly what they want to do on this Rush. Interestingly, they're going to have that Sombra here, which is a little bit different than what you expect from Rush. Normally you have something like that Mei, maybe a Hanzo, but it's actually going to be that Sombra instead.
Yeah, I think that first fight didn't last very long. Kresnik sort of caught out early. I believe it was the hack from Wi-Fi coming in that disabled that Matrix boosters, all that, and Lily's actually going to find a pick on legs on the other end.
Yep.
This is
Lily, absolute going demon mode like we said before.
We talked about her in the break and already making a
hitting a statement. Yeah, already hitting the 3K right now. Rolling forward, finds the flashbang, gonna try to take out Robbie there, but right now already has that ultimate available before the Baptiste. Not something you normally see. Amplification Matrix, one of the fastest charging ultimates in the game, combined with the AoE healing, and even that is being outpaced right now by the Cassidy here. I think there's an emphasis. People were kind of saying, well, they were kind of smurfing in that B League, so now going up against in the Sub Tourney, do they have that same level of impact?
I mean, so far it's been a resounding yes, as the Cassidy has really done wonders in trying to dissuade Selfish from even taking these advanced positions to set up these ball dives, and flashbang right away as Robbie tries to come in shredded instantly. Gonna give so much ult charge over to Wi-Fi as well.
And I think this is kind of this anti-ball kind of style coming out with that Wi-Fi on this Sombra. Another hack coming out, but the backline is getting picked off right now. They left themselves open to the Soldier. Does Wi-Fi take the 1v1, and can they win it? Rocket's back up. They cannot take this fight. They're gonna get helped out here by Dux on that Lucio, but still, it's a disengaged fight, or just a slow one to lose, as they're losing members consistently throughout the fight. 75 isn't that bad for that first capture, but still, don't want to lose any fighting around, and there's a lot of ultimates here on Selfish Gaming side. They did not have to expend much for that.
Yeah, no support ults, no DPS ults forced out. Robbie used mines like forever ago, so he's going to basically be up to another one. And now this this Ball Diva sort of hard poke anti-dive can really just set up however they want on this point, and it's going to be up to disrupt specifically Wi-Fi with that EMP to make something happen. Lily actually switching over to the Tracer as well.
I really like this Tracer swap. It's going to love them on the backline, but so is the EMP. Transcendence is good, though. Evan has the reaction times down, and they're just going to kite this one out. Just come down on the Kresnik, but Lilam is gone. Their ability to push forward with healing and a immortality field is now gone, and they are being shoved into the corner and kind of bullied around right now. All the angles are going Selfish Gaming side, and there's nothing Disrupt can do to stop it, as now it's just Azure trying to get out of dodge as the ball chases them. Robbie right now trying to set up their team, and this next fight is on him with these minefield.
You see there a little bit more of that inexperience specifically from the main tank of Disrupt, you know, choosing to invest this Shatter in what was really kind of a lost fight in Disrupt. The comp already breaking down a little bit. You see Lilam making the switch over to the Ana. Not quite a commitment to 6-man, not quite a commitment to that Brig on a dive. The engage here from Robbie seems to be good.
The massive minefield gets a lot of damage, but the follow-up's not quick enough. the nade plus the amp heals, all they're gonna need to survive it. Now they can burst out here with the sound barrier, already taking out one of those flankers, but Lilam's under pressure. They're gonna have to help them out if they want to win out this fight. Pivot's low. They don't have the healing of their Ana because they're kind of distracted right now by the flankers. Pivot going extremely low, but is going to get kept up for just a moment before Evan finally takes them out. It's back and forth and ults flying every which way. The soldier ult trying to get the aimbot through, trying to get the picks in their favor, but no, the point flips, 87%. This is going to be a staggered fight, which does kind of help out with Selfish Gaming's fast-paced composition.
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, Selfish flooding right back onto point. The EMP is going to be committed. Will only connect onto 2. Lex will fall as a result of that, though. Wi-Fi gets the manual hack as well, and the health pool for Selfish is starting to wane, but the rally comes through and the kills as well.
Damn, we're kind of seeing why this Selfish Gaming comp has been so strong, particularly on a point like Gardens right now, is the amount of angles you're able to take. Right now, they're just absolutely surrounding, swarming Disrupt and not giving them any room to breathe. Everyone on their team is under constant pressure, and right now, already Recall forced out. Monke jumping to this point is going to be going low because, I mean, already half HP, can't even get the nano before they touch the point. All that pressure you have from Selfish Gaming, because they have the angles that Legs Lover is able to give, because Pangolex is able to just go forward and actually harass that Monkey, they can't even touch the point.
Yeah, Lux on the Soldier doing so much work there for Selfish Gaming. Again, is this 2017? We have an Ana Lucio support line, a Soldier 76 in the server, Kresnik is playing. I swear to God, it's 2022.
It is, yeah. I think the Ana Lucio was kind of an attempt to salvage a composition where they wanted to swap off into probably a Moira Lucio, but
they also wanted to keep the beat as well because Dux had that built up at that point, but it really didn't make a difference. Selfish Gaming had such good control to the point that it ultimately came to naught.
Yep, and already we're going to be having the point here getting contested by both sides. Not something you always see. Point isn't even unlocked yet, so the pressure isn't even generally necessary. But Wi-Fi already doing the same thing as last time, targeting out Robbie and trying to secure hacks onto them, but Evan goes down.
Really?
And it is now going to be very easy for them to push forward and trying to take this. There's even less DPS pressure on them. Once that Discord is gone, there's just really no way you're going to burst down a lot of these tanks, and so they're going to be forced forward, but Pangolex takes the fight with a Jure and wins it, and now they're kind of sectioned off on this point. The slams are massive, and Pangolex is doing insane amounts of work for them right now. And they're trying to keep this one up. They are getting a little swarmed, but again, Tomathan with this nano, kind of what the Ana gives you is that ultimate pressure. Is now allowing them to push back and counter forward, and this might be an Oasis City Center moment, because this fight can go on for centuries.
Yeah, that supremely early pick that Lily gave over onto Evan allowed Lilam to build up that nano. He's already halfway to another. Selfish having to commit the rally just to get back into the fight. Lux will find Wi-Fi visor committed as well. Pivot's going to be burnt down again.
Infinite fight theorem now in effect because they're just going to be able to kind of cycle around this point very long time. Finally, Robbie going bowling, finds a strike, and now they're going to be insecure at this point. It flips back over, and they're going to have an ult advantage as well to aid themselves with the defense at this point. So not only do they have the defensive position secured, but they also have an ultimate bank that exceeds Disrupts.
Yeah, and Selfish Gaming. Disrupt clearly isn't prepped for the off angles that Lux can take on that Soldier. You know, constantly running around the backline or just off on the flank and just peppering down that backline as, again, the legs gives another pick over to Selfish.
Already, Robbie is not going to live there. But the thing is, when your ball is getting pressured like that, can you trade out the pressure, right? When your ball is getting attacked like that, can you find something with the backline? When the enemy diva is targeting your ball, that means their backline is so free for you to take. And right there, Lux and Pangolex identify that and go for it. That's what happens. Robbie's saying, guys, I'm dying, I'm feeding. But then the rest of the team's just like, fine, that's cool. We're going to take their backline in response. And exactly what happens, they win out that fight.
Proactivity of the Selfish Gaming backline has been so good for them. Their ability to just take fights and rotate around and position themselves into both good spots before Disrupt can even try to respond to that bomb is not going to net much.
I mean, Kresnik just kind of forgot what I guess doesn't know Hammond, doesn't know what Hammond does, doesn't know what the mines do. Okay, that makes up for it.
Old Overwatch.
Overwatch didn't have Ham in mind, so that kind of makes sense. As now it's going to give the ability for Disrupt to try and take this point after the Mines take out Kresnik. The mech is gone. They have a lot of pressure onto the backline now. But again, it's Oasis City Center. This fight could go on for the next 20 minutes, and it would not be out of the ordinary. And right now, Lylum is out of position, under threat by multiple different flankers, and the bomb is good as well. This is going to be a cleanup visor. Wi-Fi, even with the EMP, everyone else is dead. No one can help you. And despite the fight looking so poor for them, again, this map geometry allows you to just live forever sometimes and win out this round. It's going to be a 2-0 for Selfish Gaming, and my predictions are in shambles.
Well, it's only map 1. This is a first to 2, and Disrupt will have plenty of opportunities to fight back into this on the second map, but it was just the supremely sound macro play from Selfish Gaming to be able to identify when they're being pressured and then switch that around and invert it and just help let the backline stay alive for as long as possible while you have this extremely proactive DPS duo in Lex and Lux. Just did so much for this roster.
Yeah, and I think that was a very well-played example of kind of, I think, the identity they're trying to go for as well, right? I think when Osiren, who was captaining this team, was kind of making that video, trying to channel the energy of old Selfless, obviously in a more modern way, in a more modern sense, but I think that was a pretty good, accurate representation of it. The aggressive DPS flanks, Tracer Soldier as well, definitely something that it does embody. So I think they've done a really good job, not only of having a strategy and sticking to it, but also embracing the branding. And everyone knows branding and clout equals a win.
Of course, of course. I mean, if you have more likes on Twitter, that directly correlates to how good your team is going to be. It's a known fact. It's a well-known and understood fact.
I think that's kind of like the BPL classic right now. It's just how much clout can you acquire, right? Because even if you lose, you still win if you have more clout. I think that always works because of how like BPL, like the community, like there's a lot of events. Obviously, Sub Tourney is a lot of the times when we have new people come in or we have like old people come back, but you can kind of ride the momentum, the clout momentum, the clout tidal wave into the next couple, in the next years even. So always a good look.
All jokes aside, notoriety is very important in a scene like this. Having people know your name, knowing what you're capable of, is such a big boon to like getting picked up. Such a big boon to getting like to be a player captain or help someone run a team. And Selfish Gaming, you know, a bigger org difference, I guess. They have a full esports facility at their disposal. Their players have been scrimming nonstop for the last 48 hours. And it shows. Their macro play has just been so sound for the very little time that these players have been together. And I believe there's not a whole lot of extant synergy between these players in particular.
I don't really think so. I think a couple of them have played probably in the past, maybe on some event, some side event, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of BPL events. There's a lot of time for people to kind of interact with the others. I mean, I've interacted with almost every single one of these players at one point or another. There's very few of them that I haven't. And that's just from, I've only been here since Sub 24. Like I casted Sub 24, I didn't even play in it. Casted Sub 24, and then from there on, just kind of met a lot of different people in this community. Very fun place to be. But I don't know what the next map is going to be. It is going to be Escort, I believe. No, Hybrid. It's going to be Hybrid. So, what map are we going to see come out on Hybrid? Is kind of the question.
This just in, we're going to Nambani. We are. So yeah, that is a map which, given what Disrupt was trying to play, doesn't make all that much sense to me. They were opting a lot more into the rush, and they, in that last round on City Center, you could see their Ball Tracer, Sombra Diva, sort of fall short. And this brings up a lot of questions to me as to whether or not they're going to, what supports what roster changes they're going to make coming into this next map. Whether we will be seeing the legendary Gurgler Monkey, #GetGurgled. It's one of the biggest questions for this team in general is how that tank line is going to be rotated in and out. And so far, it seems like they have a pretty good idea of how they want to approach it, but it's capitalizing on those actual player substitutions that so far in this very first match hasn't really fallen through yet.
Yep, and we're gonna kind of imagine what a Numbani is gonna look like, right? A lot of time you think Winston, right? We're gonna be playing some Winston. I mean, there was a stint, and this is not even during Ghost, this was during 222, where there was a stint where you would just take a Ryan, and you would just stick it in top right, and you would say, don't walk through here on first point, and it would had some mixed effect of this. A lot of the time, it was just kind of based off, does your Mei hit a better wall than the enemy Mei, or does your Baptiste just get Amplification Matrix in a fight? A lot of time in Owl, that was very funny to watch, where an Amplification Matrix would be charged in about 2 seconds, because that was before the nerf came into the ult charge, so it'll be interesting to see what these China teams want to go for. I definitely think it is going to be more towards a Monkey Diva kind of style that is kind of preferred by a lot of people on this map, because you have the access to multiple high grounds and you can like proactively make plays, but we'll see.
Yeah, obviously Numbani can favor a lot of different styles depending on how you're approaching the map, but the more out there that you go, the more sound your approach has to be. They're not all equally strong, but they're all equally viable, if that makes sense. You can run rush, but your rotations have to be sublime. Tomathan says that our guy's dog is barking, so there's that's the reason for the hold up here. Everybody, you can blame Tomathan's guy's dog.
Some dogs are barking. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of how this goes. And again, I think for a lot of people that might not have caught, is this tournament talking about? I don't know. It's your thing, Avast. You tell me.
It's certainly looking like it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, I think the kind of thing that maybe if you missed Avast and Solomon's little peepo talk in the beginning, there was a Swiss system. So basically, how it works is after the first round, there's like a bunch of rounds, and after the first round, you're matched up with the second round opponent that has the same record as you. So that means that if you're 1-0, you're gonna face another 1-0 team. So that means one of those teams is gonna go 1-1, and then one of those teams is gonna go 2-0, and then the next round you're gonna face another Swiss system. Basically, it's gonna just shuffle things out. Swiss system is very effective at kind of filtering teams in a lot of ways in a very quick fashion. So that's why we're opting for a Swiss system. Bless round robins are kind of poo. Have the same issue in Valorant. With certain things with round robins and stuff. Well, used to have an issue with Valorant with round robins and stuff, but don't have that anymore.
Well, yeah, obviously winners play winners, losers play losers. Should make for a much higher quality of matchup, but that does at the end of the day come down to the teams, their ability to be consistent from matchup to matchup, and in a tournament with such a short turnaround after the draft like this, it should make for some extremely interesting matches with, like, you know, if one player just has like an amazing day and then the next match they're like not feeling it, it could turn a lot of things. Just again, because these teams haven't had enough time to really like establish like a core structure, and that's why I feel that Selfish did a really good job picking up Distortion as the second overall pick, because he's one of those players that can sort of bring that to the team environment, can sort of make you a little bit more than you are, a little bit faster than is what's expected, really.
And I was gonna say we could probably turn ourselves back to the just chatting section, because that seems like that's all we were going to be doing. But no, we're going to Numbani instead. Well, the podcast for a moment with very little direction, actually, which fun podcasts always have no direction. But we're going to be going to Numbani here. They haven't fixed the airport still, so I'm on the way for Overwatch 2 for that one, apparently. So that'll be fun. But
failure of infrastructure in our
failure of infrastructure, dude. How can this city like not just clean up the airport? Maybe it's like a landmark now. They've kind of made it a cultural icon for their city, which would be a weird thing to do. But
that, or it's just condemned, which is a weird thing to think about.
Yeah,
But anyways, like we said, we're seeing so far the monkeys for both teams, but Selfish Gaming continuing to embrace the hero depth of some of its players, to put it frankly. This is the first time in recent memory I've seen a Torbjorn Soldier 76 DPS lineup, especially in a Monkey Diva dive scenario. And that's saying something because I'm a plat player.
Robbie going on the Riddler arc. Not unexpected. You should follow the Twitter after what Fortnite has done to them. But we are going to be seeing how this anti-dive kind of competition with this Torbjorn is going to kind of pressure off this dive as it comes in here from Disrupt. Already jumping up, a Gurgler is forced back. Doesn't have that bubble for another 5 seconds. He's gonna have to wait their turn in terms of peeking around this corner. It's a big peekaboo right now, and they're instantly getting slapped in the face and sent back around. But this is gonna be a lot of pressure onto Evan here. The resources are gonna get low. They're gonna have to. I mean, so close to the nano, right? But you still have to worry about Lilam's nano as well. But Legs level Lux does take out Wi-Fi, and now they can push forward. They're gonna use this to try to take aggressive positioning. It's gonna force out the res, but now it's back to the same old game over and over again. We've just been seeing this. They're just gonna jump up. We're gonna disengage. A nice whip shot there to stop the Gurgler from getting ult charged, but nano is up for Lilam.
The whip shot to deny space on the Gurgler after the nano comes in will be pushing forward regardless. But the Brigana backline can just peel away as the nano engage goes in on the other end. Robbie finds 2 with that.
No, the nano engage here from Selfish was much better, much more effective. You kind of see that because Selfish Gaming's backline was able to just kite out with that Brig. You don't have that on Disrupt, right? The Brig is not able to bash and keep away this Winston, and it cost them the fight.
Yeah, Disrupt really invested heavily into that fight, and Selfish caught them off hook, line, and sinker. It was all over from the moment that whip shot connected onto the Gurgler, and that's not something you have on the other end. Fungin on the Mercy isn't going to be able to deny those dives from Robbie. So the nano engage really was just pretty free, and now Selfish Gaming, clear ultimate advantage in hand, and Lily's actually made the switch over to the Genji.
Yeah.
The Nano Blade Panic Wincon already coming through for Disrupt. Lux holding down the flank, single-handedly deterring the Mercy.
Tomathan!
The dry bomb!
3K! The 3K self-destruct allows him into this point. I thought it was going to be a little bit difficult. You had so many ults available there for Selfish, but they're not able to get them off instantly. Nuked away, deleted, and sent back to spawn. And now second point is opened up to Disrupt, and they're going to try to get back into this. There's going to be a visor, but they're just going to walk away. The disengage is clean. And except for the Genji, because Genjis can never just follow their team and get out. They have to try and fight it to the end. But that's kind of stalled their approach now.
Selfish was so prepared to be able to win that fight off the back of the ultimates that they invested onto the point. Tomathan just throws the bomb straight up and nets 3 right away. And Selfish have so much space to have to make up right after that cap comes through, and health pools not really favoring them. Wi-Fi is going to get the duplicate onto the Winston. Lilam goes down, though, to the Primal Rage in the backline on the other side. Lux running for his life from a copy of an Angry Monkey. Duplicate will fade, and Lux, again with this soldier, it has Wi-Fi's number on lock.
And now it's kind of just a... What is our next fight going to look like here for Disrupt? Oh, it's going to be Nano Blade, right? I'm still waiting on that Blade. And again, I think the Genji was a bit of a tilt pick, but how... Selfish has to know Nano Blade is coming. What's the way to shut it down?
You know, if you're Selfish, you know, you have your rally coming up. You will have your Torbjorn with that overload to be able to at least soak 1 or 2 more swings if absolutely need be. And the Nano Engage is going to come in before they can get the Nano Blade off, before Disrupt can get the Nano
Monkey
off.
For some reason. They go in, they nano the Monkey, but it's helped them out. They've gotten rid of the Robbie. And now the Blade's gonna come in. It's a dry blade, but it finds 1 swing. Finds a second swing. Does take out the Ana. Brig goes down next. But the turret cleans it up. Kaden right now is kind of picking out the pocket pick for themselves. Kaden, known for that Junkrat, known for that Torbjorn. It's helped them a little bit in this fight, but not enough. As now, Kaden goes down. The rest is cleaned up. And a nice dry blade allows them to get it in. I was kind of questioning, why did they nano Gurgler there? When they still had that blade available, looks like they had faith that Lily did not even need the nano, or Azura did not even need that nano.
So it seems that Disrupt there identified that when Robbie was going in, he would be basically going in alone. As Tomathan's bomb connects with another, the visor up on the high ground is going to be stifled out for the most part, but Lux will get away with a second kill anyways. Point cap comes through, but Disrupt seem to be building up a bit of a head of steam.
Now they're on the back foot. They have to walk back, but the Genji is just chasing them down. Evan kind of molding at that Brig shield, not protecting them from the bomb. As Lux still kind of being a menace on this soldier. It's been time and time again. We've seen it finding another second kill already going through. This soldier has been so efficient for them, and people kind of memed on soldier for a while. Really, the effectiveness of it is in its off angle, the self-sustainability, but gonna get taken out by Wi-Fi there. New character, right click, a little bit better than yours.
Yeah, I mean, again, these iterations of these echoes of old Overwatch. seemed to be a bit of a double-edged sword. Again, Robbie not really able to engage with the same strength as the blade's going to be coming in and dashes away. I love Genji. I love how powerful the Genji blade ultimate is.
No, but that was just bad. Why did you dash away?
It seemed to be an attempt to maybe draw out the whip shot early.
You just create too much space.
But yeah, the attempt was, I mean, I guess it was a switch in the end as Kaden gets the hammer kill. Well,
yeah. Questionable blades,
yeah.
hammer kills. We're back in 2017, baby. We are back, and we're kind of trying to see here what this next fight is going to look like.
Yeah, you know, when they said disrupt, I did not think they meant the time stream.
Well, where are we?
We are forsaken by the creator. There is no love. There is no light at the end of the tunnel for us. This is torture. As Disrupt is going to be making the switch over to a pretty standard rush comp with the exception of Wi-Fi on the Echo, still having that duplicate in hand.
As my co-caster questions life, we are going to have this bomb coming in. Not going to find anything. Lands on the top platform, but again, angles is all you have to ask here when you see a soldier on the field, and it's pressuring out the Reinhardt. Is going to finally get taken out. May have overextended themselves. You have Azure onto this Cassidy. We saw the deadliness of it on Oasis Gardens, but not finding the same effectiveness just now. With the bomb in the back line, once again, Tomlinson finding one. Every single bomb has found something. Now it's time to stand behind this shield. You have a soldier ulting in your face. Aimbot is going to keep you pressured, and the shield is going low. Gurgler finally going to drop it. Caden's back on the Bastion. A Caden special, but is it enough? They can try to pressure this one down. They have a mortality field.
Can they get out?
For themselves if anyone gets low. They are going to go out, but the beat is there, and there's going to be a cap. Not more than a minute. If it had been more than a minute, would have been a very, very good time. Now there is still opportunities for them to, even if it goes down to 0, Selfish can still win it out, but a nice pickup there from Disrupt. We thought they were going to get full held until that Tomlinson bomb came in and changed it all.
No, yeah, and that's one of those plays that when you're in comms, everybody starts popping off. The whole Kroger family gets up for that one, and that's a really nice momentum play. Tomlinson gets sort of his confidence back. Your team, like the teammates that you have, are maybe struggling a little bit more, full of energy, revitalized again, and you can just go hunt down your prey and just really, I mean, run it down. We were seeing Genji Echo there for a while into Torbjorn Soldier. The responses seemed to work, but it definitely wasn't in the most traditional way.
Yeah, and I think you see here what Selfish is going to be trying to do on their offense is going to be double. And I think this is kind of I say outdated. It was played a lot in the beginning of 2021, as we're going to see a comment there, trying to comment on this match. The Observer is trying to exert their will. Solomon shutting that down.
Comment.
They are not allowed to comment. They are not allowed to make any comments about the match. They are simply Solomon's observing puppets. Production puppets, if you will.
Get back in jail, Aaron.
Get back in jail, Mark and Aaron. Huge shout outs to Mark, by the way. I kind of try to shout him out whenever I can because Mark does not sleep. Is in one of the worst, in a really bad time zone for this kind of stuff, and also just doesn't sleep apparently. It does sleep, but like I don't know, they do a ton of work. Big shouts to Mark, but this defense here can Selfish break it.
Our production team is insane, but you all already knew that, and so Disrupt actually opting into a heavy poke comp here. Wi-Fi picking up the Torbjorn on his own. Robbie's just going to be going straight in.
Robbie's dead, by the way.
And deleted. Well, I love Brigitte.
I've played a lot of Monke.
Do you love Brigitte?
Okay, that's not even a Brigitte moment. That is I'm jumping in as Monke. Then what you have to do there is to jump up and then get ready to soft dive and fall back out with your level.
Of course,
because
but I mean, we're talking about clout. Takes about Monke
Robbie
being bad. Takes about Monke being bad. That doesn't get me internet points. Saying Brig bad, on the other hand, that gets me internet points. Anyways, Kaden actually, while we're just sitting here talking, Kaden has actually found the pick onto Wi-Fi. Robbie does go down, but
gonna be them just pushing down. Arista off the high ground in their face.
They just drop and kill them anyways. Selfish Gaming having to at least stall out here a little bit, fall back maybe if Greenbean can even get away. He doesn't, and that's a kind of a crucial stagger. Your Brig is actually going to be trailing a little bit behind Fungin in the ult charge, and actually he's going to be opting to switch over to the Mercy.
Interesting. Well, I think that's because Disrupt doesn't have anyone that's going to be aggressing onto them. The Brigida is not going to find much value unless you are getting aggressed on. Now they can take off angles with Lux. They're just going to kind of play for the pocket on the Soldier here. And again, I think this is the big thing why this Zarya bubble composition is overrated. Zarya has 43 ult charge, is not being able to do anything this round. Finally has the Nano Monkey, gets him into this position. Now we have Rally. Your Nano Monkey, now useless, but no! Kaden takes out Function! Kaden! Oh my, and a massive play from them as Robbie trying to remove this Baptiste from the field and just does so. Kaden going absolutely crazy there, taking out the Rally Brigida. And now the value here is completely in Selfish Gaming's favor, looking to cap this one out. Wi-Fi, Soldier of their own, on some off angles, trying to run it around, but it's not going to be enough. And I mean, that what kind of comes down to Kaden hitting those shots right there. If not, you have a Rally Brigida to deal with. But it's still not over just yet. You have to deal with both this Brigida and this Orisa. You should be able to deal with just both by just forcing them out. You have too much damage.
Yeah, way too many numbers there for Selfish, for Disrupt to really feel the need to bite on that recontest. And Selfish Gaming, right away, free to take so much space, get the Soldier positioned up here on the high ground, have Kaden, who's now actually playing Mystery Heroes, now over on the Reaper. They're going to try to maybe find a cheeky flank, a nice little off angle, or just wait for Disrupt to really commit onto the cart and blow them up with the Hellfire shotguns. Robbie, though, identified no Nano to save him out quite yet, but Lux again responds with this Soldier. So much pressure alleviated with this hero pick.
Yeah, and now we're going to have kind of the pinch, the linchpin come in here. You have people jumping to the backline. The Zarya is in the backline as well, has the bubble up. Is going to be doing massive amounts of damage currently. And right now, it's just completely in Selfish's favor. They've now secured themselves this point, and this should be a clean push into third with a lot of time remaining.
That was a.
And I think this is where Selfish comp starts to fall off a little bit, but still, I mean, this is a massive time bank.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the Graviton Surge online, Visor, Primal Rage. You can at least force one ult fight here, try to get the card around that first corner of third. But Disrupt, on that last fight, choose to take it in such a weird position. You know, Kresnik literally gets to walk into your backline for free with high charge on Zarya. You're not really optimizing the fact that your comp has so much better long-range poke, especially with Kaden now off that Hanzo.
Yep, and now we're gonna be having them try to push forward here with this Bongo, but look at where Lux is! Look at it! They're literally in their spawn! Sitting there. They forced the Arrested Shield to be thrown behind, now the rest of the team is gonna be under pressure. You have to check the flanks. It's the East Coast special. They do not know 2018, 2017 East Coast top 500 ranked. This is the special that we were looking for. You had Hogs, you had Soldiers, the flank on the backline, no matter what. It was an absolute menace, and Lux has completely taken it for their own.
Disrupt is panicking. I mean, you talk about Disrupt, that's a play to break the back. Literally tactical visor from spawn. Wi-Fi coming back out on the Doomfist. Will need to find something with this rocket punch. Even just try to deter Lux off those off angles just a little bit. Immortality Field is going to go down. Bomb from Tom that doesn't connect with anything, but Kresnik does fall.
Wi-Fi does take out Kaden. The staying power has been definitely decreased here for Selfish as more and more drop. And again, we're time to look at Lux. Where are they doing? Where are they going? Getting headshot right there as Azure just kind of pops around the corner and takes them out. Flashbang's not going to hit.
Lily?
A 200 hit on us turned away from you. I know Super always says this. It's impossible to hit people that look away from you. It's fine. It's a little bit of copium, but we are seeing compositions kind of start swapping around. We're going to have the Ash come out. I'm not sure why that's the swap coming in. I'm not sure why they're so, persistent on this double bubble. I think there definitely are other options here.
Yeah, I'd almost like to see Lux just maybe go for a Tracer if you are really going to commit to that double bubble dive variant. Kresnik is just getting bullied by the Doomfist of Wi-Fi. Gurgler taken low. Immortality Field is going to be popped in response. Kaden's Death Blossom is going to get air as Gurgler falls, and the supports are so low. Fungin no longer has a partner to help keep him alive. Being chased down, the High Noon is going to come out. Kresnik, no personal bubble to save him. Kaden responds with one onto Wi-Fi.
Oh, wrong stun.
Green Bean doesn't quite get the res off.
You're gonna have some time to stall out here. The charge back in. That's gonna give you Shatter. Now it's Gurgler. Hold your shield. Hold your shield. Then you go with the Shatter right in. And there it is. Reaper goes low, but they're not able to finish off. No damage, but it stalls them out long enough, and it forces them back. Finally, they swap off. And I don't think we've seen a grab this entire map.
Zarya on a Lucio. The year is actually 2016.
Have we seen? Here's something. Have we seen a Grav come out yet? I don't think we have.
We've not. Kresnik's basically been holding this since first point, I'm pretty sure.
That was in the Overwatch beta, right? Like, there was a Grav in Overwatch beta. You could press the Q button.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. I mean, it's been so long since we've seen this Zarya pick at all. It's...
They just roll him over, I guess. No ult needed.
And just Selfish just walk in and win in the neutral fight.
Oh, same exact time! Same exact time! Oh, no. Same exact time. We finally see the Graph come out. After round, after time. Interesting kind of plays from both these teams and matching the time perfectly for both sides. This could go literally either way. I think both of them were getting kind of, like, had a really hard attack for a while until, like, one massive play as Obi is trying to talk crap in chat.
Oh, come on, Obi.
Obi is talking crap to the GOAT.
That's not
The
nice.
hashtag Kroger family.
That's not nice, Obi.
That's the mentality they have towards this.
But yeah,
and, you know, that is kind of the thing you can do. But,
worst.
Obi Shower Challenge? I like that one a little bit more. Siren, that's a W.
That's a good one. Worst, I have to ask. Do you see it?
Do I see the draw? I hope not. We have a lot. We have 3 matches to go
it?
tonight, and we want to get to them in an orderly fashion. Great time. We also started 24 minutes late because people, and then we had a pause. So we kind of want to have.
I love being behind schedule. I'm supposed to be on another stream right now.
That's Sub Tourney for you. That is literally Sub Tourney for you. This happened last time as well.
We're fitting a whole season of BPL into 3 days, so this kind of stuff is just gonna happen. But again, thanks to our fantastic prod team, doing all the damage control that they can.
Q isn't my alt key. Chat, do you change your alt key? Who is the actual monsters that change their alt key?
No, you wouldn't get it. It's the result of playing paladins for so long and just taking so long in the caves of meditation, waiting on the moment that you can re-enter the Overwatch community and dominate in a Sub Tourney. You chat, you guys wouldn't understand. You guys wouldn't understand. But anyways,
back to this fun. Guys, isn't this fun? Just watching Monke jump up and just poke each other. Corner.
This is innovative Numbani gameplay.
This is Numbani. This is Numbani, everyone. We are seeing legs level swap off legs, which is kind of disingenuous to the brand. Once again, we saw it on attack as well. We'll be suing for defamation and false advertising. So
cowardly of Lux.
Yeah. They're going to start up Genji from the beginning, and now the Nano comes out first for Selfish Gaming. Again, onto the backline. You don't have a Vegeta. You lose. Robbie finding one. 3.5 seconds remaining.
Time is so low.
Ready to come through, and Lily's dead.
Yeah, Lily's toast. And look at the health pool for Disrupt. Lilam is going to be res back into this, but will it even matter as the numbers are there for Selfish Gaming?
Wait, why is Fungin back there? Why was Fungin back there pistoling? Fungin?
Good question.
Pocket your echo. They had 97 to ult. Fungin, pocket your echo challenge. Impossible.
This kind of thing does unfortunately happen as, you know, fights break down, players begin to panic, calling gets a little more muddied. you're not pressing tab to check ult charge.
What is the call there? Oh, guys, I'm pistoling their Ana, guys. I'm pistoling their Ana with
that's
Mercy.
The problem. There is no call. Everybody's just screaming out hero names, on, Mercy, and then it all gets sort of lost in the kerfuffle.
I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah. Regardless, it was a solid defense from Selfish, leaning into, you know, the fact that they can afford to give up that first corner because Disrupt will have to continuously ingress onto their backline. The Ashe with the coach gun and the Torbjorn being Torbjorn, having armor, having overload, having the shotgun on the right click does enable them to kite back a little bit farther, as Kaden is actually going to be picking up the iconic Kaden Junkrat, hopefully.
This is okay. So for people that don't know the lore, haven't been here, you should know the lore. Kaden's an absolute animal. Junkrat and Bastion and Torbjorn. Those are kind of the Kaden specials. And right now we're going to be seeing all 3 of them in the same map.
Yeah.
And so Junkrat didn't come out. Normally I'd say this is quite bad, especially on attack. The thing is, Disrupt is also going Junkrat. So I think both of them just kind of said, hey, want to go Junkrat. That or they're stream sniping. Probably not stream sniping though. Probably not doing that. I hope not.
I eagerly await one of the fabled Kaden moments, as Selfish Gaming is wow, I've never seen this positioning before. You know, you send your Monkey Diva up onto that top right
Guys,
corner.
it's so different from last time.
But instead of actually taking the fight there, Disruptor instead opting into standing on the other side with that Orisa. They are going to be dislodged a little bit, but Selfish Gaming instantly dissuaded as a 4-man flashbang comes out from the cast of Azure.
No! Mess up the jump a little bit, does get out. And now you're kind of saying,
good.
maybe Kaden picked this because they thought they were going to go Orisa and thought, guys, they're going Orisa, I can break the shield. That's not really how that works. Also, they're matching Caden's flank. They're looking for it. Look at where Caden is. Caden is bottom left. They have double rat. Why is Lily
Azure is dead.
Guys, what is happening? What is going on? My eyes.
He's all over the floor.
I'm actually bleeding profusely from my eyes as now the crumble begins. Classic rank special. You almost hold it out, but then overtime ticks down and the enemy team gains the ability to take this point. You're gonna have Wi-Fi. Finds one. Still has some mines to go, but Caden's fighting back. Junkrat versus Junkrat on this point. Caden wins it out. The Junkrat duel goes their way, and now it's just Gurgler on the point. Does get the 2K though with that baby Diva, and now they have to deal with this Pharaoh Mercy, but already found one. The Ana is back, and they can't touch the point anymore. And there's no draw, chat. Selfish will be winning this out 2-0, and we're back kind of on schedule. What was that? What?
If there is,
my eyes are bleeding.
If there is anything to take away from that electric second map, worst, my friend, it is that time is an illusion. Nothing is important. We're all going to die someday, so hashtag let's go fishing.
Is that the outcome of thinking about the mortality of life? Is that the outcome? Is let's go fishing?
Nothing matters. Let's go fishing. It was a very convincing opening game for Selfish, especially as the maps Boron, Disrupt began to struggle a little bit more for all the sort of unorthodox stuff Selfish was throwing at them. Caden, master of the silly heroes themselves. It was a pretty solid first game. You know, it had all the highs and lows, the dramatic tension, all that you can really hope for like an inaugural match like this. The quality of the gameplay aside, and whether or not Lux was literally in spawn with tactical visors.
Well, that last fight made my brain explode. I'm not gonna lie. I was just watching Caden flank, and then I just see Azure just roll in to like a billion people, and my brain exploded. I'm not gonna lie.
She rolls into a bubble, gets antied. I
Dies.
believe finds a kill anyways.
Passes away.
Dies, and then as the fight's breaking down, Gurgler is just walking around on Baby Diva and pistol whips too. There is no way to break down that last fight in any way that is pretty.
Yeah, and we should be getting some interviews in, but you also have, I think, Avast joining. I don't know what's.
Interviews? I had to go pop into the B stream because there's apparently an ongoing joke that I didn't know about Alwyn slipping in piss. So in dog piss. So I had to go. I had to go reach into that stream and see what's happening.
Good
but
stuff.
I did see that Selfish Gaming is 2-0 over Disrupt here. So sadly, the Kroger family has fallen, much like standards.
Did you watch that last fight?
I didn't get a chance to watch everything. I saw it was a classic Numbani last situation though. For a long time.
There was nothing classic about that last.
There was actually a lot of classic about the last fight. If you played
I saw some very unfortunate Genji moments though during the course of this. I got some very unfortunate Genji moments during that. So let's, as we look forward for these teams in the 2-0 and out, before we get into the interviews. Oh, we already have people in here. Before I was like, before we get into the interviews, but we already have like 8 people. 8 people of so including Kresnik.
Hello.
Kresnik. How are you? My favorite Paladins professional.
Can you name one more?
One more
no.
what?
Paladins professional.
No, that's.
I can't.
I mean,
it's fine.
The only one that matters.
I am okay with the default win.
Yeah, you win. You win by default in terms of Paladin professionals. So you've won this first match 2-0 here. How are you feeling? Are you feeling elated? Are you feeling ready for more? Like, what's your thoughts?
Focused on self-improvement, internalizing it.
Okay.
Need to play better, but happy that we walked away with a win now, so we can potentially squeeze out the other game today. More time on Saturday for practice.
Fantastic. And, it's about your opponent, Disrupt. I mean, there was a lot of hype coming in from them heading into this tournament. Like, how do you feel about them? Do you feel like they still have a strong chance moving forward? Are they going to be a tough opponent for others?
I think it's a question probably better suited for Evan or Lux also in here, because they would know more about this hype around it than me.
Okay, well, I see Evan and Lux, I'm assuming, is Menace to Society entitled in Discord, which is a I don't know if that's supposed to be a TF2 reference or just your Joker momenting.
No, I'm just the Joker. I mean, I play Soldier, willingly, so.
Okay, well, what are your thoughts then, Menace to Society on Disrupt?
I mean, that's a very good team. I like their DPS line a lot. They definitely love to play the Tracer, so they'll be good. I mean, just if you want to beat them, play Torb.
Okay, giving out the secret sauce here in the interviews. So, worst, do you have any questions here for our interviewees?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like maybe post to Evan, who hasn't said anything yet, and I kind of want to get their voice in here. Coming back into Sub 5, like working together as a team, how has it been gelling with each other on this team?
Pretty good, honestly. Like, I didn't get a chance to practice until today because I have other coaching duties that were happened last night and the night before. So we kind of just somehow found warm-up scrims earlier before this match, and I was just easily able to slot in to play the Zen and the Ana. And I honestly, big props to Disruption for Disruption and Kresnik are guiding me everywhere, because I'm Zenyatta most of the time. So it's I have no movement ability. I will die very easily. But in general, I think we are working very well together at such short notice.
Okay, fantastic to hear. And Rose Hour, do you have anything that you'd like to ask our select group here, our astronauts of Overwatch prowess?
Yeah, just for the full teams, but more specifically, Kresnik and Lux. How is managing the rotations between the tank line and the DPS line? How's that fallen together? How's that working out for you guys?
I think swapping with Tommy once he's here, when we were doing practice, me and him were kind of slotting in and out. I felt like it was good for me to be able to watch someone who has been actively playing at this tier and kind of absorb knowledge from his gameplay. So I personally have been liking these swaps on that lineup. I think Lux could talk more about the DPS side of things.
You mean swapping Taden in and that? Yeah. I mean,
Taden and Lex.
Unfortunately, we have not seen the Taden Junkrat enough.
We got a taste.
That's definitely his hero. I will not lie. That is definitely his best hero. So you may see some more of that.
Land Farah. That's all.
Yeah.
I
mean, you work around it, but they're still both good players. Pingo and Taden. It's fun to have them.
Okay, well, fantastic. And, I have to ask, Kresnik, when are we getting the collegiate, when are we getting, what is it, Southern New Hampshire? Is it Southern New Hampshire? When are we getting,
yes.
When are we getting this partnership between us and the sub tournaments? When are we going to get that direct player scholarship pipeline? When are we going to get that?
Listen, my people could talk to your people. I am the people. Listen, I don't know how many details we could talk about here, but listen.
Okay, we're getting into the back rooms. We're already farming out people, the orgs. We can see what's going on with the collegiate player pipeline. We might as well just, hammer out all those deals. But I think overall it's exciting. First win. Remember, it is a Swiss system, so we're still got to reconfigure the matches after this. I believe now, since Fadeless and Salavibes have concluded their match, with Fadeless winning 2-1 over Salavibes, then so we have 2 winners of one match so far, and you can see the schedule here ahead of us as of right now. But now, and also Blue Screens won over Gentleman's Club, and Monkey Flop and Do This IRL are still ongoing. So we still have to reconfigure the next matchups here, which is, I think, still dependent on on Monkey Flop and Do This IRL. So we might have a bit of a break. Solomon, can you confirm that we will be doing a break? Yes, Solomon can confirm we'll be doing a break. Well, in that case, while we wait for Do This IRL and Monkey Flop to finish, we're going to throw it a break. And then once we get closer, we can come back up, get the cast started again for the following matchup and announce it and everything, blah, 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 blah. But thanks, everybody, for coming in for the interviews. And worst cast of Rose Hour, incredible cast between the two of you. And we'll throw a quick break, and when we're back, we'll have the third matchup ready.
We don't know. All right. He's going to be switching back. So
He's just baiting. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Typical Azu, baiting in my games. Yeah, Triumphant coming out the doors here with Soldier. We've seen a lot of Soldier play today, even though it's maybe not mathematically the optimal pick. Stunned up instantly is Carl, and
Coconut, he's already dead. We've got a like really close fight up here on the right side, but Kizzle does go down from Guac, but I think the Pink Mini are just really trying to push this tempo really aggressive with their Ball Sigma. You know, they just proved to be like so much faster than Triumphant there. They just like realized that their Soldier was alone, he's a bit too fast, and they just like crunched on him. You know, it's like they're just playing way too fast. Even with the Sigma pick, they're playing faster than the D.Va.
No, yeah, they just walked the supports and the Sigma right up on the side as Coconut Carl was trying to get set up on the off angle and just deleted him right away. The accretion into the shield bash and goodbye Soldier, and that's a 5v6 for you easily.
Yeah, it's surprising to see that Pink Mini is like trying to go faster than Triumphant because they're playing with the Ashe and the Sigma, which typically you think of a slower comp. Oh, Guac's gonna go down there, but this is gonna get booped off by Edix. What a boop from Edix. I mean, we're gonna have to see what they're gonna do. I think Juice Ice is going in here for the slam. Actually gonna get nobody with the slam. They're just now we've seen they're gonna play a little bit slower. We'll try to get as much spam in with that Ashe Sigma as possible, while Triumphant are just trying to cap this point and poke out and try to get a good engage. Mara and Clap both go down, both DPS dead, and this is just stall fight from here on now.
Yeah, that was a really good approach from Triumphant there to sort of split the fight on two fronts, that having that extra mobility in the Tracer Sombra to be able to dart back and forth, apply pressure to the back line over on the high ground, and then quickly sprint back over to the fight that was going on over in that mini room.
Yeah, this fight still seems to be going on. People are still committing. The rally's actually committed from Illuminous, and they're going to try to recontest into this. Guac's going to use the EMP. It's a big EMP. We've got that's a 4-man, and I think that could seal the fight, but they could go they've gone 1-for-1 here, and they're committing more ults. They're just dumping more ults than Triumphant have. I mean, Triumphant elected to not use mines. They didn't use their trance, and they're coming up on this rally, but like, I think it's just so beneficial for Pink Mania to have control of this point, especially with the Sigma and the Ashe that they have.
Yeah. Already a lot of back and forth. That EMP not quite getting the results that Triumphant wants, because you can hit as big an EMP as you want, but if they're still shooting better than you, you're not going to be able to really get anything out of that. Now I want to see how Pink Mania tries to set up this next fight with the ultimate disadvantage, but Juice Ice is going to be coming up on those mines.
Well, Juice Ice actually goes down. That's not very good at all. You lost your big engage tool, and it's going to be up tomorrow to try to find an engage here. Or the Sigma Flux, Clutch Caliber coming out with the Sigma Flux. Doesn't really catch much. Gets the supports in the back, and they don't even force out any support ults. And Mars going down. Yeah, they've got the flip. They didn't force any support outs with that Flux. Clap actually gets Azu with the coach gun, and
they're stacking support ults right now.
Wait,
the kills are still going the way of Pink Mania in the fight.
This is not very good. This is not what you want to see if you're a Triumphant fan. They use both support ults, and then Pink Mania, they just back up and they take a re-engage fight because the Kizzle popped the trance and just allowed them to live that push, and Clap's just over here on the Ashe just like clicking heads, and he has the Bob.
Again, as these fights continuously break down, it's Triumphant's comp that's able to maneuver around the map, isolate those players that are putting themselves in disadvantageous positions to maybe connect a little more damage. Triumphant is able to just wrap around and isolate those duels in 1v2 or 2v3 and clean them up as the fight wears on, and the percentage ticking up all the while.
Yeah, that could have been a costly error to elect to use the Transat fight, but they're going to pop the rally early, and Clap goes down before he can use his Bob. It's last fight.
That was such a good EMP bomb engage from Triumphant, so decisive in setting that fight up.
Yeah, Clap, they're going to come back here. Pink Mania, they do have point control, but Juice Ice is so very low. Kizzle goes down. That's a lot of damage down. Clap is going to have to come back here. This Bob is really important. This Bob has to get a lot of value. They actually get the remake off, which is crazy. It's all the Zen's in the back. He's so very low, but don't worry. CBT is there just to pack him up, and they actually get flip. I think Bob just solo capped the point for them. Yeah, Bob just solo capped, and CBT is so very low. They're forced to trank out.
Blackout trances?
Yeah, they forced the trick because CBT was so low. He was actually one from the dynamite, but they got the flip there. Juice Ice is hacked. He can't touch the D.Va in the whip shot. Illuminous is gonna have to stay on this point so hard. They're not even coming up to any ults. The most ults they have coming up is their tank ults, and Clutch Caliber is gonna be demeched. This pulse one could be huge. Doesn't connect. Wait, Coconut Carl go down. Big EMP coming out. Juice Ice goes down, and it's just clean up. Blackout is just actually cleaning up now, and it's just Edicts and Blackout cleaning up, and Triumphant, they take the first point. That was so like back and forth between both of these teams. I mean, it seems like just come down to who used more ult.
Well, we are back from break. We have the next matchup decided. It is going to be Hamster Zone versus Grimm Coven. I'm joined by Cute White Boy and Warscast here yet again. And we're going to have to talk about, speaking of Cute White, well, actually, I don't know. Is Mac Tackle white?
Yes.
First of all, okay, Mac Tackle's white. So apparently what's a very important talking point I was fed is that Mac Tackle is good looking, which is important for overall for Hamster Zone that Mac Tackle's on. And in addition to that, Grimm Coven, they have Tekugen. And on top of that, they have Albert, aka Dicko Mode, on these teams. So let's start with you, Q White Boy. Why should we be excited about this matchup? What's the plot points we should be worried about? Okay, good talk. Good talk. Well, what are the plot points we should be talking about?
Well, as that happens, everyone get a hashtag bricked up in the chat.
Hashtag bricked up. Thank you, Albert, for the sub.
But I think the biggest kind of thing you have to talk about here is there's obviously really big players of both sides. For Hamster Zone, obviously the team named after Mac Tackle because of his extraordinarily hamster gameplay. Season 3 BPL winner and MVP of that season. I played with them previously, just in this last tournament here with Snowdown. Amazing Wrecking Ball, but really just does play the Wrecking Ball. Can't obviously pull the Reinhardt on maps that they want to, like a Havana, which is in the map pool, but like on like a Lee Chain Control Center, which isn't also in the map pool. So, a lot of things aren't in the map pool right now. That
so you've listed all the examples that don't exist.
Well, that's because everything we played, because those were in the map pool and everyone loved those maps. And this tournament, they basically said, all the maps people played, get them out of there. We only play the maps people don't play. So I don't actually know a lot of the time. We're going to see a lot of Wrecking Ball, though. I can tell you that, a lot of Wrecking Ball.
I unplugged my headset, but I'm back. I heard you mentioning cute people, and Mac Tackle is definitely very cute.
Do you think that attractiveness is going to help this team?
Yeah, I think it will. I think it's one of the keys to success for that team. Like alongside talked about, great emote. He's got great girth on his arms.
Okay, good girth on the forearms. That's fantastic.
The thing is, it's really big because he has low DPI, so like the big girth, like it helps
I
move his mouse around, and like that builds up a lot of strength. And so I think if they can keep with that, first to 2, so he won't get tired. And so,
that's true. You don't want to get tired. Who paid this guy? I'll pay more. I don't know who he's. I don't know if you're referring to Cute White Boy or someone else.
If it's me, I'll take the payment. Don't worry.
Avast,
I'll definitely take that. I'm a freelancing caster. I need the money.
Fair enough.
Just call me White.
Okay, I'll just call you White. That's fantastic. That's equally strange as a name to use, but sure. Fantastic. Well, let's talk about the matchup then. Hamster Zone versus Grimm Coven. Let's start thinking more. So predictions. Worse. What do you have here? Who's your favorite?
Well, I've heard also grumblings that Dicko Mode is off-rolling. I don't know which role. I don't know what they're playing. But they're not off-rolling. They're playing DPS.
DPS, yeah. Albert is playing DPS.
That's not an off-roll then. I was lied to.
No, his off-roll, he normally plays support in ranked, so he does not play DPS
flex support,
normally.
doesn't he?
Yes, yeah.
It's basically DPS. It's a better DPS. So he's actually bringing his team down again by playing the worst character, the worst role. So, I'm gonna give this one to Hamster Zone, not only because Mac Tackle, but also they have players like Synex, which are really good. Mac Truck, I know, has been consistent for a long time. They have really good players, and also they have a very nice emote. And I would sub to that man on Twitch for that emote.
Okay, sure. And White, would you agree? Would you agree with that, or what's your favorite? That's a very strange name still to call you White. In fact, it's still. I feel like there has to be a better option between Cute White Boy and White.
It's the best of both worlds. But you can call me C-Dub. For me, a couple of things come into effect. It matters if Dicko Mode has his cheats on, if he has his wall hacks on. That definitely plays into effect for it, for sure. But overall, I've heard good things, honestly, from both of these teams. Pretty good. Synex is very high up on my European people and BPL tier list, so that's important. But I'm gonna have to go with the Hamster Zone as well. I think that they'll pull it out, but I think it should be a good match.
Okay, well, I'm interested in the European people tier list, but we are into the match, so I'm gonna head it out to you guys and have fun with this one.
No,
we will. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Avast.
All right, getting into this. What are we seeing? We're seeing some some Rhine comps out of Grimm Coven and some ball comps out of Hamster Zone, which is what you were expecting.
Who could have guessed? The Teku team is playing Reinhardt, and the Hamster Zone team is playing, or the back tackle team is playing Wrecking Ball. Absolutely unprecedented gameplay, though. In the
blown away. I am blown away.
I am actually shocked. Teku playing Ryan and Winston. That's crazy. Never would have expected that.
An honest main tank player. Mag tackle a little fraudulent. All right, so they're coming in here. They're balling up here right here. They're on the death ball. They're really looking for the cast Sombra, so it seems like they know Mag Tackle's gonna come out on this ball, and they're really trying to make his life a living hell. They're rotating. Mag Tackle's hitting them on the rotate, trying to slow them down. Panda catches Synex though. This is a huge pick to come out, but Dicko Mode's in the wrong place. Mag Tackle can't win it. He gets the mega, and he's hacked, and he's probably gonna get cleaned up right here. They tried to stop him on the rotation, but they just weren't fast enough.
Yep, not gonna be fast enough to stop them, and already, Preds, Pepe left. We are going to be first fight Freddy's, and I'm gonna say first fight. Our predictions, Pepe left, but we are kind of showing up here and kind of a counter comp coming out. Obviously, you have the cast Sombra. We saw this before, actually. I believe from Disrupt as well when they were going up into a team they might have expected to play ball. So yeah, same kind of counter comp strategy to come out. You're trying to shut down this ball. Mag Tackle has a little experience, but there's only so much experience can do to help you out when you're just getting hacked and stunned constantly.
So many things that have to get stopped. Got to play very, very passive. But here it is. This Grimm Coven team, they can look at a couple things. They can look at the back line to run at. They can look at the cast to run at. Here comes the window. They're pushing through this. Hamster Zone is trying to back out, but they're not able to get away in Dicko mode with the two-piece with a side of Diet Coke, and that's able to clean up the fight. There's the thing that strikes me with is that Hamster Zone, this cast from Laser is just really easy to run at. Doesn't feel like it adds them now. Synex switches over to the Hanzo. That's interesting.
I think the biggest thing is like, man, Tracer could be really good here. Like a Tracer could be immaculate here. Like Tracer Hanzo would be great. I don't know if Laser can pull that out. Maybe kind of the oversight I kind of thought about. I was looking at the teams like they're playing a Wrecking Ball team. If they have a Tracer player, I don't remember if Synex played Tracer. I thought
Synex they do play a little bit of Tracer, so I think that's.
But it's not like
probably what the pickup was for.
Okay. Well, yeah. Definitely think that would be a better option for them as. Instantly, Reback is going to get forced here. That is going to be a bomb wasted. But they still have EMP. They still have EMP, so
they're going to be looking for this EMP.
They don't have EMP.
Oh, just kidding. All right, they kind of just fall over. They get looked at very aggressively and they die. Oh no, Mag Tackle might lose this. Oh, he almost dropped the pasta on the point, but that's really unfortunate. Grimm Coven coming in with a great ults, like looking for a really good fight, and they get the Diva Mech forced early. They have to bomb for absolutely nothing, and then they just kind of lose the fight before they can set up for the EMP. But not all's lost, 82%, rolling in with good ults.
But I mean, look at that, 20. Like you have all your ults basically up. You waiting on Bolton Cake, obviously with their amplification, but still, I mean, you have Shadow, you have EMP. You can just kind of walk at them and exert your will. If anything does go wrong, you have beat for it. You don't even really want to do that because you're gonna get kind of counter ulted. That's amazing there.
Forces trans. That's huge.
This trans by decloaking. Doesn't have the EMP. Really massive play from the Sombra.
And the Shatter, the solo Shatter. Wow, that's amazing to force the trance there. Then comes the EMP. It hits 3. Can they follow up anything? No, the baby Diva's still right there. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of follow-up. It's coming back and forth. This Hanzo from Synex, he goes really deep, tries to get Teku, but can't quite get him. No translocator. The hack on the Brig, but Brig is on point and it's so hard to kill. That fight was all back and forth. And it looks like Hamster Zone pulls it out.
So apparently there is a correlation between we use EMP and beat in the fight and we lose somehow. Don't know how that happens.
They solo shattered ball. They killed.
I mean, the solo shatter on ball is fine, right? Because you're just trying to shut down Mag Tackle. But then, I guess they just didn't really follow up on the EMP. They kind of got zoned out, a lot of damage coming down, but you have beat to sustain it. I guess maybe not expecting them to have to run over such a distance, and they kind of just used 2 of the biggest ultimates, and for nothing. Now they only have High Noon. Obviously, they're going to have Diva Bomb, but how much are you going to be able to do with these ultimates? Not that much.
Oh, and Panda starts off already dead, so they're down 1. Digomode is split right here. Here comes the Mines, forces Lamp. Just gonna continue to shoot the BAP. Who cares about the lamp? And BAP's off the map. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you have a lamp because it does not protect you from falling off the map. It makes you immortal in all the other ways, but not quite that way. Oh, see ya.
I mean, next fight, which is call it a fight, but it's gonna be a really staggered out affair. And you're gonna have to rely on your Sombra to touch here. You're gonna be swapping off to composition, so you're even gonna get off. You're gonna be on the Soldier as well. You only have Bomb to work with. Synex can just kind of throw in an ultimate here to kind of zone when they need to, and already they can't get the Sombra.
Yeah, Panda dead first for the second fight in a row. That's really, really tough. gets caught out by the cast, but Mac Tackle, oh my goodness, gets blown up, but those adaptive shields are allowed to keep him up in the side bite. Now Laser here just being able to clean up, dropping a little bit of low, but there goes Cypher, no mech. This should be a clean fight for Hamsters, and they should be able to come up with this. Bing Dong is coming up on the trance as well. Sly loses Mac though, but Big Folded Cake is dead, and they pull this out. That's started off so well for Grimm Coven, and that EMP fight that they lost was detrimental, and from there they just couldn't come back.
I think there was 2 main points in that game where Grimm Coven had the advantage and would have been able to pressure it to win that round. First one, which they actually did win out, was the initial time when they have roll out and the enemy team isn't set up, so you can actually get onto the positions that they want to hold. You can take away the positions their backline wants to hold, or maybe the Cassidy wants to hold. You can go and do that. That's exactly what happened. Grimm Coven takes the rush comp and just puts it into places that the enemy team wants to be. And their way, like, you're not getting in here. If you want to try and walk in here, you're going to get run over. They got ran over. Good. Then the EMP beat fight. That was the biggest second point, and they flubbed it. And they could not win the round from there. But
that's the hard part with control. One
same thing.
Fight.
Look, it's going to be the same thing again.
Yeah, I can understand it from Grimm Coven. You're going to feel like the mistakes on your part is why you lost, not the comp in general. Here comes the TP. They're going to TP across so that they can't get caught out. Now they're going to try to just set up on point with these turrets and just make it a living hell for Mac Tackle to try to roll through. But the TP's down, waiting for the reset from there. All right, so now they're sitting here. They're chilling. They're trying to just live through this. Mac Tackle's rolling through. Not engaging yet because he knows if he slams, he's probably dead. Good for him. They're getting poked down crazy. Teku loses shield. This is looking really good here. And now here comes the engage. The shield's down. They're big purple, big slam, but it looks like Grimm Coven is just able to live through it. They're coming back and forth, but throughout this whole time, they have control of the point.
The biggest mistake there was slamming, and I think you saw Mac Tackle avoid it for a long time. He thought he finally had an advantage with the anti coming in, but you're playing with a Soldier Pharah. You're not playing with something like a Tracer, right? You don't have the follow-up availability that you would have otherwise, and now they've kind of forced people out. I mean, it's kind of everywhere right now. Beat is going to sustain, and they're just trying to run the point. Everyone's just trying to get the point as fast as possible. They're like, guys, regroup at point, regroup at point. It's like the Fallout shelter. It is the Fallout shelter right now. Everything is going to crap around them, and they're like, guys, regroup at home base. Poofa, don't take the 1v2!
Cole's Cash has replaced the dollar. There's no society anymore. Cynex is on fire, trying to poke. He's getting a lot of damage, but like you said, there just isn't that final blow. He's gonna look for the barrage. A little too close to the sun, looking like a Jaco W barrage right there. A nice little ground Pharah action, and from there, this whole time, Grimm Coven has control of the point.
So many fair players. We pick out Jake, I guess. Okay, very odd, but
he was known for the ground Pharah. I remember seeing a lot of barrages very close to the ground.
Well, here's the thing, right? You have this soldier, and yes, it's very safe. It's very poke heavy. But you need something to get in there. You need something to follow up on these directs. You don't only rely on Mac Tackle. Mac Tackle is going to get the damage kind of mitigated by just a right click from that Baptiste, by an amp heal. You need something to go in with the Hamster, with the directs, to finish off targets, something like a Tracer, and you're just not having that.
Here it comes. The bomb engage with the slam, and they're going to nano Cynex, able to clean up. They use so much bomb, nano, visor. They're going to get the point, but Grimm Coven's going to feel fine with that. They have 99%. It's going to tick up to that. Can Dicko Mode win this? No, they cannot. They're dead. All right, so you get control of the point, which is the hardest part about this comp. But the thing is, Grimm Coven's just going to come in, post up on point again, put down their little turrets, and get cozy. And we're going to see they have to stop them. They can't let them set up on point.
Okay, here's the thing. Do we int our TP? Do we int our TP and then all end up in the drink and give Mac Tackle wins? Yeah, that's the kind of the question.
Yep.
They're gonna go to the safe TP. They did this before. This is a safe TP.
Oh no, the TP!
Oh no!
Oh, you can't get it up. Performance anxiety. I've been there. God, that can't feel good. All right, go next. Oh, Teku. Value. L hits the L in the chat. That's tough.
Dude, I just don't get how you mess up the TP. Okay, so they mess up the TP. Okay, but what that TP is supposed to do is allow them to get the point safely. You can't get booped off from that angle. You're not going to get fair barrage, most likely, from that angle. But you messed it up. Okay, go next. You do it again. We just wait till 6 ults. We're going to get 6 ult curse.
But now Mac Tackle has mines.
Yeah, now you have ult. You have mines. You have fair barrage. How do you get through? You have nano as well. What is happening?
Oh, where's that bomb going?
What? That bomb was awful.
Oh, no. It looks like it might be a repeat for Grimm Coven, where they start off the round so well, and then they absolutely drop their balls. They missed them. I'm gonna hyperventilate. Oh no, but Mac Temple just rolls into the high noon. He just rolls into the high noon. He just face checks it for no reason. And now oh my goodness, they're gonna take the round.
Avast has taught them well. You can tell.
What is that?
Beat's gonna come out. Rez comes through. Sly gets it. They get the remake off. They're just kind of winning this fight. Nano is out. Everything's everywhere. The spaghetti, the pasta, it's on the floor. It's not
falling out of the
edible.
pockets.
It's been way more than 5 seconds. 5-second rule, definitely not in effect. If they win this
pasta.
fight,
Cynex is killing everything.
They win!
No way! No way. My goodness, they've left the pasta in for 8.5 minutes. It is al dente now. Oh my goodness, they can eat it.
Cynex absolutely goes massive there. No one was looking at them. No one to shut them down. I don't know if Cypher lost mech or
that's what happens when the Pharah. When you stop looking at the Pharah, they can just start. They can still just start farming, rising.
Get the Pharah moment.
Cynex upwards trend arrow on the BPL Europeans tier list.
But the bomb.
TP straight to point.
Wait,
red block.
They're gonna have shield.
All right, slam. Lamp gets forced here. Big slam. Mac Tackle needs to live to these mines, but Dicko Mode catches Sly. Mac Tackle can't get healed here. Okay, here comes the Ana. The roll through. We gotta get this mine. These mines could be huge. Oh no, the shield! He's spamming Q. He's spamming Q. Oh, he is spamming Q. This visor though. This visor might be huge. They're all so low. They're all so low. Laser has to touch though. Okay, Sly's able to come in, touch next. Ring around the Rosie.
Wait, the bomb got TP'd out. The bomb got TP'd off the point. Oh god.
This is amazing. But the Nano, everyone's purple.
They win this. They win this.
Purple. Do they?
They win.
There goes the mines.
They win. No shot. They win.
No way. Yeah, alright. Please just save us. The beat comes through.
Oh my god, the pasta!
Somebody
it's
check on Grimm Coven. Someone check on Grimm Coven.
No.
So honestly, Mac Tackle dying before they can use mines was so big, because then they came back into the fight with mines. Wowee.
Look at this.
If the rest of this match is like this first map, we're in for a treat, an absolute treat.
Well, I believe Grimm Coven gets pick and King's Rose in the map pool. Hey guys, where do you think we're going?
Thinking emoji.
Thinking emoji. Where are we, guys? Where are we going? Guys, where are we going? Is it going to be? Oh! Thank you, Sango, for the 20 tier 1s to Avast. I want to say that for Avast because
we're casting, so I'm pretty sure we get a cut of that, right? Of the
no, we get nothing. Oh. No, that's all going to Solomon and Avast. That's nothing to us.
We get a Will Smith smack to the face right there. Yeah. Unfortunately,
we get exposure, I guess. You know, good stuff. We get exposure, but you know what? I've been a very big fan of Sango. I've been here for a very long time, and they've been amazing.
Yes,
I'll shout them out on cast. I don't care.
But yeah, great first map. So honestly, this is what these sub tourneys bring. That maybe not the highest quality Overwatch as far as coordination goes, because these teams get 1, maybe 2 scrims. But it's entertainment. It's just back and forth. The Cynex Pharah clutch, the TP, the bomb off the point. It was back and forth. It was crazy. The TP that didn't even go all the way there.
It was a chain of events that actually left me molding. The fact that, okay, the next fight after they lose, they have a great position, right? Yeah. Where do we go? We have to TP to point. We TP 2 feet in front of us and die. We just perish. We just pass away. They build all their ults. We win the fight. Then it stalls out. Cynex comes back, kills 70 billion people. And
also, then there was the res in like the middle of the point that went off and then allowed the D.Va to remake. It was crazy. Honestly, if you're Grimm Coven, it's extremely frustrating because it was so close, like both points. But you have to feel like the game is still in your hands, as far as like the mistakes you made. You know that it's not like you got 99-0-2-0'd. Like you're feeling okay, but
you can win the matchup. But
you got to hit the reset. Maybe a little yoga, maybe a little Zen music, some waterfall. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, just really to calm yourself down, because if they were half as hype as us, they They
I
got.
don't know if they're hype more so as just absolutely going insane, right?
Yeah.
Going absolutely crazy. And I think one of the biggest kind of reasons for that is it can get very scrambly and very scrappy. And in that situation, the ball comp's actually favored a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
They just have characters that live forever if not focused down quickly. They have characters that can get back quickly. They have characters that are reliant on their team protecting them. They are just self-sustaining characters, and you're just playing like it's a jail fight. It's an actual jail fight. Everyone's got shivs, and you're trying to play a composition that has to pull together, and you get like ripped apart. It's crazy.
The more chaotic it gets, the more it favors the ball comps.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the tough part is, I know we talked about how the soldier doesn't really have the hard engage, but with the soldier and with that comp, like you can't run at anyone. You can't run at the ball. You can't run at the pharmacy. You can't run at the soldier. The supports are in freaking Africa. They're all the way in the back. Like you can't get to them. So all you do is sit there and you hope for a bad engage from Mac Tackle, which the first fight he slammed a little too early. They blow up the ball and then they win the fight. And that matchup, that's kind of what you're doing on Grimm Coven. You're just sitting there trying to hope that somebody engages a little bit too early. Like Cynex with the ground barrage, like just didn't quite set it up. That's what you're hoping for, because you can't really run at anything.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like ball should have just kept swinging, just kept being a nuisance. Really, just give the point. But
And you could see it in his face right when he slammed. He like made that face. I was like, ugh.
No, here's the funniest thing about playing with Mac Tackle. Like he'll play and he'll be like getting chased down, and he'll be like, "Guys, I'm inting. Guys, I'm inting." He'll say it. He just says it. But guys, where do you think we're going next? Oh, it's King's Row. Oh, that's
my
crazy.
goodness.
Who could have guessed it? Wow, Grimm Coven wants to go
Prime
to
sub if you're surprised. Drop
Prime
that
sub
prime
if you are absolutely surprised. You know.
Yeah, that's just a crazy coincidence. The thing is, do we think that they still force the ball? Because you can run ball on King's Row. Like, it's not like...
What did we play King's Row? I don't think it was in the map pool. I don't remember. But you can play ball here. I think we're just going to play Rush. Mac Tackle, as much as people say call him a ball one trick, he definitely does play Ryan. Plays Ryan on Havana, plays Ryan on Legion Control, plays Ryan on a couple other situations. Does really, really love the ball and does play the ball because... I mean, look at that face. You would play the ball too, and I'm talking about the character face, the Chad Hamster face.
The chin
is on their Twitch channel. I think that is like an email for their Twitch channel. So
yeah, and honestly, like, oh, here comes the ball with Sly on the Aris.
Ball 6-man maybe. I don't know.
So the swaps coming in: Spooky Ghost on the Diva, and then McMeme on the Junk. Those are the only swaps. Wait,
silly.
Are those the only two swaps?
Looks like it. I could be crazy, could be wrong.
It looks like that's the two swaps.
I know Spooky Ghost was playing support though, so this is
coming in on the Diva. I know. I talked to Teku. That's originally what the pickup was for Spooky Ghost on the Diva, and he seemed to like it. So went well in scrims. Scrim books are very, very important, as we all know. They're very indicative of how good a team is. And here it comes out. Extremely spammy. MacTech already solos Panda.
God, they're doing the thing I hate. They are doing the thing I absolutely hate on King's Row defense. You just back into a corner. Literally, all they do is back into a corner. Play statue, please. Play aggressive. Play to get on top of the Zenyatta. Play to get on top of something. But if you back into the corner and just take it.
They're giving up sight, and then their Viper has lineups, and they will retake from there.
Oh, the lineups.
Yes,
my bad.
They have lineups. Teku I feel so bad for the dude. He's just standing there in the corner. Okay, they're making a move.
I can't play the video game.
Just look at him. He's getting moved around. All right, okay. Are they going to make an aggressive rotation? Are they going to try to swing at something? All right, there comes the window. A little bit weird. I feel like they could have swung. They blow up Sly.
I don't know how anything didn't die in that corner. You have 1 billion damage.
Recontest was great. A great Sova Dart lineup to just get info, and they were able to recontake from there. And here
it's
comes
a quick
the
retake,
duel. The Ashe just trying to win the duel there. They're poking it down. All right, so Cynex has the copy here, and they have the both support alts coming up here. So you're looking for the dupe, maybe on the Rhine, looking for a little MTD. Tekujin is passively charging their Shatter because they can't swing on anything, and so I'm guessing Cynex is going to go for a dupe on the Diva or the Rhine here and try to make a play from there.
This is the point where you wish you had something that wasn't a Junkrat. in certain situations, but like you just want damage that's more consistent, right? Because a lot of the spam, like you don't need a character that's gonna damage shields. Like your character's gonna damage shields no matter what. You just need
here comes the slam
consistent stuff.
On the Ashe. Oh, I think Panda caught out a great dupe from Synax there. They're gonna be able to get the mines of the bomb here. Oh, look at that. And the tire from McMeme. No, not the remake. Ooh. It doesn't go off. Synax lives through there. They're holding the last line. It's Helm's Deep. They're waiting for the elves to show up to bail them out. And here comes maybe it is. There's the beat. The shatter from Tekujin. They're investing. They think they can win this.
They can. They have some members going down. They have Window as well. And Bolton Cake is a known shooter that you have to deal with. There's the shot. Comes down. McMeme is gone. You're going to have to res for it, however. But still, you're stuck in this corner. Someone deal with Bolton. Finally, they do.
They pulled this back.
But Tickle knows alive.
Oh, McMeme catches the Lucio. But I think they've recontested. They've settled down. They've gotten a mortgage. I think they're moving in, but oh no, Tekujin gets caught out. No, the stock market, it falls. Their house is worthless now. They have to sell.
The banks are foreclosed.
Let's hope they get bailed out.
Let's hope. You're gonna have to wait for that one. Just give it a minute.
So this map already starting off like the last one was, with just crazy back and forth. The beat and shatter looked like it clutched Bolton Cake with the window as well, but then they're able to just get a couple picks, and Hamster Zone has a way faster comp individually, and they're able to just stagger in and clutch the fight. Synax coming up on another dupe. They opened it up last fight with the dupe. Let's see if they can do it again.
They're gonna have to wait a couple seconds. Spooky into the trap! Normally don't see that much effectiveness out of it.
A little bit late. And there comes the bomb. Oh, it's a 3K. Honestly, if you're Grimm, you're hitting a little bit.
What?
Oh.
Ashtiff.
And then he just dupes to just miss a bunch of shots.
Left
dies,
click,
doesn't get Bob.
Left click Lazarus over here.
Maybe hit the Kovacs a little bit there.
Maybe the Kovacs. We're gonna be seeing here next fight is gonna be explosion fight, minus the bomb. You're just gonna throw out the mines, you're gonna throw out the tire, and you're just gonna. Again, it seems like Grimm Coven's kind of playing. They're playing now with the Ashe as well. I don't really know if you should even be on Ryan anymore. I feel like it's just like you're just kind of sitting around hoping to just.
Yeah, he can't swing at
not
anything.
die, I guess.
And now they're getting. Tekujin gets out? How?
He's out.
Okay, alright. Yeah, they need to engage first. They've switched to the Mercy. They have no Lucio anymore, so the Rhine is even more worthless. The tire gets nothing. Tekujin, poor fella. But Spooky gets McMean, still winnable. They're trying to get a Synax. Here comes the bomb. Synax dead. Spooky goes, kind of pop it off a little bit. And they get their res off. And so it looks like Grimm Coven, and this is a great place to win a fight. If you're Grimm Coven, like this, such a long spawn for Hamster Zone, and so it kind of evens out. So that long default. Oh, someone check PC. Check him.
Someone
PC.
check PC. Check him PC as well. He's got the angs covered, you know. He's got the mangs. He's checking his angs. But I mean, right now you're kind of okay. He's going for it. He's gonna find out Matt tackle. He's gonna diff him. He misses a couple shots, but you know what? I love it. I love the energy. But
he's starting to cook a little.
I mean, he's starting to cook. Yeah, he's starting to get the crock pot going. He's got it on. But
the wrist is whipping.
Yeah. So we're kind of seeing here. Teku again is going to play the game of I'm going to stand here, hold my shield, and not play the video game. That's kind of what it is. Like you don't have a Lucio to engage. He's just relying on the fact that
Shatter the Mercy.
He's just trying to rely on the fact that his shield is 1600 HP. That's like all he can rely on, right?
And another a little bit of a boom copy right there. A little sus. I don't know about that one, but
wait a minute. Oh, you did not just do that.
Hamster Zone.
Is Sussy still in the chat? Is that emote still enabled?
I'm not sure. Somebody check that. Somebody drop a little.
Someone on that. Someone in chat on that. Sussy, get it going.
Yeah, Hamster Zone starting to get a little bit weird.
It is. Okay, cool.
Oh no, Synax ulted just so they can swap. Honestly, so smart. All right, so Tekujin gonna look for the solo shatter on like a ball or something like that, because if you try to get any more than that, you will die before you get there. And Mac Tackle's looking to charge these mines, and that's probably their go button after that. They can't walk in yet though. They're just sitting here.
This shatter is
shatter. It's huge. I lied.
I mean, they just walked into him. They just walked into the big German man with a hammer, and they decided to play his game. Like, the thing is, Tekujin was not playing the game.
No.
And then you let him play the video game. Why would you do that? And I guess that's kind of why they wanted King's Row. Obviously, Max Tackle gonna come in. There's no way this fight turns, right? Clueless?
No,
Clueless? There's no way.
Please.
There's no
Dicko
way.
mode with
The
the
Lighthouse
high noon.
incident.
a great hold. That was looking so terribly. And I said when they won that fight at the end of second point, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, you know? I saw a possibility. I saw freedom. And that's what it was. A great hold from Grimm Coven. Hamster Zone just didn't look. They looked at they lost the plot a little bit. They were staggering in. They didn't feel like that coordination, which you need with those ball counts, seemed to be lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now looking back at the chat. It does indeed look like Sussy. Yeah, I think we'll be able to do it. I think it works.
Okay, cool. Good to know. We will be doing a routine emote checks. So keep your hands ready. Keep your hands warmed up. We like to involve our viewers. We like to keep them from dozing off. You know, sometimes your hand can get a little cold. We got to keep them warmed up. Twitch chatting, very hard job. Okay, very very difficult job. We have to make sure you guys are keeping warmed up on that.
As a freelance
me sleeping. I'm the one that can speak, and you cannot.
Yeah.
So,
as a freelance Twitch chatter, I know how hard that job can be, and people they don't respect it enough, you know. And Mac Tackle trying to do the little lineup. Oh, he's got his Jordans on. He made the jump.
This guy knows ball tech and Rhine tech. This is crazy. This man's absolutely cracked out. You saw him go down. He's gonna be typing his favorite type of cookie, Choc Chip Supreme. It's a little bit too much chocolate for my taste, but you know what? I mean, it is what it is.
Too much chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not that big.
Are you 65? You gotta watch your cholesterol.
Some people say I'm 65. I do love me some Raisin Bran, you know.
Okay, honestly, people hate on Raisin Bran.
It's
solid. It's solid.
Slaps. Thank you.
Also, Special K, the strawberry kind, also very good. All right, it looks like Hamster Zone is also opting for the recontest as well. I don't know if they have the comp for it though. They're missing a little bit of that entry.
Okay, again, the back up into the corner strat. Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I just love it so much.
Just giving up ticks for free. All right, here they come though. Here comes the urgency. A little bit of urgency. The lamp being forced. Mac is deep. Dicko mode dead.
Where's McBeam? Where's... He's in Narnia. He's gonna die again.
Yeah.
We back up into the corner. Okay, why did we not play Lighthouse? Not Lighthouse. Statue. Why did we not play Statue ever? Like it is just such a simple place to play. I don't know. It's just
let's see the... Holy shit! Holy shit!
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, fucking Michael Jackson on him! Holy moly! Oh my god! That was smooth as.
He actually moonwalk shattered. That was crazy.
I have not seen. That was some insane stuff, and you can only find that here in Sub 25. Yeah. I'm just gonna say that.
That's the level of play.
You can the only way you can have Albert Ye Dicko mode on a team with the fucking Michael Jackson of Overwatch. You hear Michael Jordan of Overwatch, Michael Jackson of Overwatch.
Technically trying to get a contract real quick, saying, do you need a backup main tank maybe? Perhaps on the Florida Mayhem, trying to ball out, get signed. All right. So coming in here, Mac Tackle coming up on the shatter, but Bolton Kick looked like he's probably gonna window right here on this to be able to take this corner, and we'll have to see if he can get it. They're playing aggressive. Oh, he's gotta walk through the window. Mac Tackle is very, very low. He shatters, but he dies. It doesn't look like they'll be able to hold this. Panda has the dragon here, and it looks like it's all she wrote.
Yeah, and
yucky.
That's gonna be it. I don't think there's a way there's literally no way this loses, right? There's gonna be a recontest here from the Reinhardt, but you can just melt him instantly. They have beat as well, bomb, dragon.
McMeme is probably not gonna get anything. Dude. Sly maybe touches with the bomb.
The moment...
Do they have any touchers?
No, they can't touch. They can't touch. No, they can't touch.
Oh.
Okay, cool. The moment this game turned around was when the moment Teku started playing the video game.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. Literally, the entire time, the entire first map, Teku could not play the video game. Entire second map. Basically, the entire second map, Teku could not play the video game, and then this happened.
This is the play.
Please be the play of the game.
Oh, no.
It's still great. It's still a good one. It's still a good one. It's still a good one. But this is the one. You're letting him play the game. You're so close to him. Why are you so close to him? Don't let him play the video game.
I thought he was going to get bashed there, honestly.
I mean, but he held his shield for 20 minutes, and then they finally go, okay, we'll walk in front of you for you. It's like, you can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen.
It's the interactive gameplay that Reinhardt has sometimes where you hit a little bit of this, and you turn a little. But yeah, that really, like, it looked so badly for Grimm, and they win that fight at the end of the defense. They hold, and you could see the confidence picking up. They started to get a little busy, and from there, You could see, and it all in that shatter, the backwards one, you could see it bubbling up there. Really a great performance there. Going into the third map, it's really anybody's game. It obviously that was a counter pick to Hamster Zone, a hard counter pick. Like their comp is nowhere near as good on there. So we'll see where they go. It's Escort, correct?
Yeah, Escort. I believe it is. If I dredge this up, Gibraltar, Root, Root, and Junkertown.
Yes.
Where would a team that likes to play Hamster go? Root, right? I think Root's the best one for them.
Yeah, because Jib, you would think more of obviously you can play ball, but you would think more monkey comps.
I think the geometry on Jib is very impressive to a ball because you want these open places, but like first and second point is just so like claustrophobic. That's why you want the Winston, because there's like little tiers of high ground that it's harder for the.
Or you can always duck in, get a little safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would.
Junkertown just sucks ass. So.
Yeah. As a man who just lost map 3 with on Junkertown, I'm not a huge fan of it. But I'm trying to move past this. If you guys want to, you can also just feel free to @Alwyn in any Discord that you're with Alwyn, because they slept through our match. So just to make sure it wakes up with as many ats as possible. But moving on to the third map. All right, checking in. A little 1-1 with Ping Triumphant. And then 1-0 with Cat, and then what's the other one? I'm blanking on the orange.
That is a niche reference to Stroll.
Yes. So the 1-1, so two map 3s going on here, what you want to see. You want to see some good competition. And if these are already so close with the Swiss, these games should just get even better and better as they move on.
Yeah, I mean that's how the Swiss system is supposed to perform, right? But also, no, it's not a bed sheet. It's actually a shower curtain. 2 of them stitched together. Creative stuff there.
You bought Overwatch shower curtain and then stitched them together?
Yeah. You see that thing right behind my head, right here?
The white Overwatch logo?
No, like the little line.
No, the seam. Okay.
Yeah, that's where it's stitched together. Yeah.
Did you stitch it yourself?
No, my mom did, because I have no stitching skills in my entire life, and they do everything for me. So.
Yeah.
What's going on in here so far? 1-1 Grimm Coven Hamster Zone. It's looking like a tight matchup here.
Yeah, we are experiencing a lot of different emotions here. if you were there for map 1 on Ilios, you would know spaghetti everywhere, literally everywhere.
I did see the matchup. I've been watching it. I've been seeing if Dicko Mode's been isolating the Angs. So I've been watching it here. It's been a little crazy. I've been Techo doing some moonwalking. It's now been termed the Michael Jackson of Overwatch, which is, and at this point, I don't even care about the brand risk or whatever, because Mara's on Z Stream. His name's Dad Fucker. That's like his name. So like the brand, we're never getting sponsored. We're never getting sponsored for the Sub Tournament. So at this point, like whatever, like we're never gonna make any money from this.
That's the goal. We can start to change things around. We can annul that. We can annul that.
I feel like my name is pretty marketable as well. I feel like
I mean, Cute Boy. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that one, but I think it's overall it works out in general. But as we head into the third map here, what is our third map?
We don't know yet. I don't think
we're thinking a route because Hamster Zone's gonna want to play ball comps, and they're not gonna play it on Junk, not gonna play it on Jib most likely, and so they're probably gonna want to go root, which honestly isn't the worst because it's probably the best rush out of the 3-2. Because I would assume that Jib and Junk are also worse rush maps. So Grimm probably can't be too mad at a root pick.
I see. So let's say we theoretically get to root. So Grimm Coven, they're feeling happy, right? Because they get the rush. What's Hamster Zone's path to victory there? Do they can just continue to run that? Like, what other comp do they run around the ball? Because they clearly can't match with the rush.
So there's a funny thing on Route 66 defense called you split with a Sigma, and you put an Ash behind a shield, and it's you just just artillery barrage from 2 kilometers away, and they just cannot touch you. Generally, how you work is you put them as far away as possible from the enemy team. They're gonna run at you. You're gonna run away, and there's gonna be some other DPS on the back line shooting you in the back. And so your BAP's gonna die, and you're gonna be like, "BAP, stop dying!" And they're gonna be like, "Please shield me." And then you're just gonna be sad. And Techo's gonna get 20 ult charge in 50 minutes again because they're holding shield.
Okay. Now I do see a suggestion in the chat saying get sponsored by Brazzers. Don't think I'm allowed to. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that via my contractual obligation.
OnlyFans sponsorship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what the rules are with that, but it's still probably not a good look either way.
I have a different mindset as well. Grimm Coven's already leaning into the dark arts, so Hamster Zone should pay a witch doctor to put a hex.
I see.
Onto Tekujin.
I see.
Make PC break down.
It's
and then you win from there.
It's Gibraltar, so it seems like you're all wrong here. So it's Gibraltar, which means
either
Rush.
I see some Monke gameplay from Mac Tackle, which would be incredible, or we're gonna see a pick that is still good but not the most optimal.
What do you think we're gonna see then? From if we look towards Grimm Coven here, are they just gonna try to bust out the Ryan continuously?
I do have some scrim leaks. Grimm Coven was spawn camping on Ryan Zarya, first point Gibraltar.
No, you don't do that.
A little leaks there. Signet, thank you by the way for the tier 1. So maybe they'll try to do a close hold. Perhaps a close hold here with the rush comp. So looking at Gibraltar, then let's get our predictions in. We'll start with you, C-Dub. C-Dub, what's your prediction?
I just can't see a Ryan comp working well on Jib. I gotta go Hamster, but because the scrim books, as we know, they don't lie often. They're pretty accurate. But I gotta go Hamster on this third one. But the spawn camp could work out.
No, this does not. Unless you mental boom them in the first 30 seconds, like it's London versus Washington Justice of 2020. That's the only way that you make this work. I was there for that live. I could literally feel the energy in the room turn against Justice. So I know what that's like. Unless that happens, it's not going to work.
Okay, well, it's good to hear. Queen Victoria, thank you for the tier 1. Give me some of that royal money. Real queen in the chat. Well, I'm going to leave the cast up to you two, and good luck and have fun with the rest of it.
Thank you.
Stay safe. All right.
They say queen.
Bless up the next queen. All right, so they're doing a little bit of high ground, just letting the cart push, just chilling. Here comes the Mac Tackle engage. Doesn't get the boop quite that he wants, but they're chilling. They're getting all of this cart push, and Grimm Coven's more of like they're pulling a little bit more of the absent. They're just kind of watching the game. They saw Teku sit there and watch the game play, and they're like, what if we do that too?
I mean, Teku's going to play a lot of the video game this round. You can tell by how approachable this composition is for them.
Yeah, honestly, you got to commend his absolute patience to just sit there and do nothing for 2 minutes and then pop off once he gets ultimate. And he's been doing that consistent.
Yeah, and here's the funniest part is Teku, I don't know. I think Teku plays Winston dead again because you can't play the game. Plays Winston. I mean, Zenith was just a bunch of 6-man. So I don't know, why that has not made an appearance ever, but
I think they're rolling high off their scrim books where they spawn camped on Rhine on Jib, and they
went into spawn camping.
Yeah. I don't know if they started off on the spawn camp, but
they didn't. They just started on bridge and they kind of sat back. They just sat back.
Synex is hunting right here, but goes a little bit too deep. Test the waters. It's a little too hot. They gotta get out. And here, it looks like Grimm Coven's maybe stabilized here, but Max looking for these mines. These could be gargantuan.
Look how, he's having a bit of a struggle here, and again, it's like the Hamster has to play it ultra well because if there's not a lot of good rollouts, there's not a lot of good areas for the ball to be. He's just bonking his head over and over again. He is simply bonking his head.
He will have a concussion by the end of this map. He will have to go into concussion protocol. He will miss the next match. It will be sad.
He's an average NFL player.
Yes. Oh, solo shatters the Tracer. He gets. That's all the fault. What else can the Ryan do? You can't even blame him. Dicko mode with the visor. It forces trance, which we'll take that. But 1 HP in the corner. The Bob dies. It's not looking good. The third point obviously is better for Rush, so honestly at this point you might as well stay, but it hasn't looked good for Grimm so far.
They will die standing on this hill, I guess. And again, they're opting for this Mercy Ash defense with the Reinhardt, so the Reinhardt doesn't get to play the game. Honestly, could have played Orisa, could have played Monke, could have played a lot of things, but the Ryan so far has not been having a lot of fun. There's a team kill out of spawn. And man, what a turnaround!
Some DPS swaps.
That'll fix it, Kofi.
Nope, Panda just goes back.
No! Okay,
they bobbed last fight, so they didn't really lose anything.
I don't know. Like, who's gonna touch this laser? Who's gonna deal with that, man? Huh? No one.
No one, because he's got a brig with him.
He's got a brig in his head. They are untouchable. You don't have Lucio. You can't speed this top right. You can't do it.
It is just not going well right here, but they're just holding in the corner. They found a new place to go. They're like, this is my safe space. You cannot hurt me. But Synex, he might disagree with that. He's doing a little bit of hunting. The Mercy comes over on the Ashe. The peel there from the D.Va as well. Dicko Mode finds a Mac Tackle, which is a really great find that might be able to stop them in their place. But they're not seeming to back up. They still want to stay in. They're getting stuck in.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the best fight. I think we finally got to the Teku buff where he can just is an area where he can just hold a shield. He can just hold the shield. That's all they need to do. They are finally going to do it. You're gonna see a pulse storm come in. Another heat from Cypher has been really good on those so far, and has continued to be so. And now we're at a point where they can't just like flank them infinitely, and now Teku can hold his shield and be happy.
Yes. So this is where Hamster Zone honestly might be thinking of a swap from them, because this third point is really, really hard. I know usually a lot of teams end up swapping Rush on this third point as well, but Hamster Zone doesn't like that mirror. They want to stay on the ball, so here they're coming up on Trance Bomb Rally. This could be a fight they can win for, and Tekugen looking for a Soul Shatter on Tracer again to get as much value as possible.
Like you said, as much value as possible here. Man, Cypher getting up here, trying to protect Dicko Mode and doing it quite well. And they're trying to establish this area and keep it, but that is not good. You lost your Cassidy, and Cypher might even lose their mech. It's back and forth so far in the kill feed, a checkerboard if you will, but the res is available.
The shatter onto, and he's gonna die to bomb. Very good shatter on the rally. Doesn't let it build
Wait, those are mines.
Oh, don't know where that charge was going.
Wait.
All right, they stabilize here. Oh, maybe not. They're still pushing in here. Hamster Zone setting up. Mac drops dangerously low. Has to use the adaptive shield. So does Teku. Teku sees Mac drop low, and he's like, I could drop lower. And he does it. And they push forward with this trance. They really need to be able to close it out here. They cannot let them stabilize here again. The window here is going to try to stop them. The bomb doesn't get anything. Dicko Mode finds a Mac Tackle. The trades favor the defense with the respawn being so much closer. But the kills are still coming in the favor of Hamster Zone. This is still winnable. Oh, counter charge.
Pin comes in, holding shield, is discorded. Has to be very sad. And it's just kind of holding. Again, Teku buff.
Huge lamp.
He's going to die, but they get a lot of time out of here. I believe Bob is out here from lasers, so this should just clean it up, and that should be the cap come in. And yeah, this map was, how do I put this? Quite unfortunate for Grimm Coven to go to. And as poor as the ball didn't find like the craziest value on second point, or even like on first for that matter, but like you're just playing a rush comp, and again, you're just sitting back and just getting shot.
Yeah, I think they took 2 fights over the first 2 points. Because on first point they waited so long before they dropped and then lost the fight. Second point they waited all the way to the end. They won 1 fight and then lost. And so they had a decent hold coming into the third point, but you really got to hope maybe a change in plans, but obviously the rush works a little bit better on the attack, so I wouldn't be surprised if they still roll out of it. Here comes the sim. They're sticking to their guns. They got them a map and they feel confident with it.
You know, here's the thing. This would be like the most perfect ironic match if Grimm just comes out and like it's like a 5-minute timer. Just rolls, absolutely rolls. I don't see it happening. What they're gonna do is gonna TP out on the bridge. They're gonna try to walk into this small room. They're gonna be going up against their Brig Zen, and they're gonna realize how much damage actually comes out from that and how brawly they actually are. And they're gonna just realize the brawlic backline is going to just repel them.
Yes.
That or the backline just gets rolled over. Like there's only 2 ways it's gonna go. Either they die instantly or the other team dies instantly. It's just like actual just death combat. Like just I'm going to shank you, and if you shank me back I die, but we'll hope it doesn't get to that.
The 2 possibilities, either Grimm Coven wins or Hamster Zone wins. That's the type of breakdown you get here.
But like the speed of which it happens will be immense.
Yes, it will end fast. The fight will end fast either way. A big slam, so many shields there from here. The roll through again. Dicko Mode on the Widow might get caught out, but no grapple as well, so nothing happened so far. Oh! Blazer wins the duel. I must have taken a little bit of poke because there was a one-shot there. They're going on an absolute adventure. They're going all the way around. it's Fortnite when you're new to the game and you have to discover the whole map or it's grayed out. That's what they're doing here on this map. They're making sure that they hit every point of it so it unlocks on their map and they can see where to go.
Apex rotations.
Holy, they gotta get out of the zone. They gotta get out of the zone.
They're actually just taking the Apex. Where are they going?
They find the backline. It works.
Okay, so here's where this falls apart. They're taking 2 billion years to kill this Brigitte, and 3 have traded their entire backline for it.
Oh my goodness! Tico wins and ATP.
What?
He's alive at 15 HP.
What is happening?
The thing is, they got no cart progress to that whole team. Mac was just chilling on point. So although it took an absolute year to kill the backline, they weren't getting cart pushed the whole time. So Hamster Zone's gonna get plenty of time to recontest, and with Bob and with Mines, you'd have to favor them on this recontest unless Bolden K has an absolute gargantuan window.
And now we get to okay, again, the rotations coming through. It's the Justice. It's the actual Washington Justice right now on Blizzard World. With
Laser
was that
uses
Toronto Defiance? Some of them. One of those teams. One of those mediocre NA teams. One of those mediocre NA teams. Okay, one of them. Somehow it's working.
No, the Mines. They're not pushing the card again.
They're fighting the second point.
The objective base game is not being played. That was so back and forth. They got 2, but then 2 died to the Mines, and Tekujin is just gonna spin around in circles. Cypher dies next. They're taking forever to win these fights, which is fine. Like, they're winning them, but like I said, they're not getting any cart push the whole time. So even after they win the fight, they got to go back to cart and push, and then because Hamster Zone's so quick with the ball, they're just able to get back.
Yep.
All right. The TP to high ground when you have
they just broke the
stairs
TP and just left their team behind.
Yep.
No, they like personally broke the TP and their team was just like, guys, wait, the TP. But
Panda's like, I'm not taking the stairs. You guys can take the stairs. Another big slam, just making sure to slow them down as much as possible. They're trying to get this blue box control. Here comes the TP, looking onto the back line. They force trance. Here, and now Tekujin's gonna look for a shatter after the trance.
No, stop walking forward!
Alright, it looks like they're gonna win it. Now they go back to the cart and push it.
Okay, they stopped walking forward. They walk backwards. Okay, they walk backwards. Good. They walked back to cart.
Mac had time to get out and recontest and just decided to roll onto point and die anyways. Pioneer, thank you for the sub to Avast.
We just Avast now. We just just show for the subs and hope he has some pity on us.
Yeah, if we're good enough, then he'll give us the sub money.
True.
I read it in the contract. The rally is huge here. Fancy has pressed Q and is now unkillable for about 6 to 7 seconds, but now that time has run out and they are dead. And through blood, sweat, and tears, the Witch Doctor is unsuccessful, and Grimm Coven looks like they're going to take first point.
They're gonna cap first point, but funnily enough, Avast just made the prediction for the 3rd map. So guys, who do you think is gonna win? The Rush team on Gibraltar or the dive spam team? Choose your bets. 30 minutes.
Shut up! Don't talk about the predictions. Shut up!
Avast, we have some more. We also have more things that make us even less marketable. Do you smoke from Jordan Hale, Avast, just to really hurt your marketability even more?
The chat as well is conspiring against you to make sure you never get sponsored. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
But how do you walk? How do you make it through this? I mean,
oh my goodness, the lamp is late. Ping. You blame that on ping. If I'm Bolden,
he would hit that on land. He would hit that on land.
Yeah, on land, you land that 100%.
I was gonna say, how do they make it through the actual minefield that is going to be this next fight with like pulse bomb and minefield? I guess.
Wait. Is marijuana legal in Florida? Avast probably legally cannot answer this question.
I don't know. I'm not gonna even pretend to know. But yeah. We're gonna have to see how does Mac Tackle even make it through this, and how does they even make it through Mac Tackle right now? Again, they keep going for like rotates through Narnia. They actually go through the closet and then back through the closet again. Like they keep going back and forth. It keeps closing and unclosing. But I mean, Dicklebone is just off angling, ulting by themselves, and now they have to make this again rotation
I'm watching
through the
Mac
Badlands.
try
He just walks up, flash right clicks the Zenyatta. How?
I'm watching Mac Tackle try these grapples on the worst map in the world for grapples and just continuously not making it to high ground. It looks like they win the fight. The question mark. Yeah, they do. They do. And Mac Tackle just drops to feed some ult charge, rolls away, as a wrecking balls do.
Oh, the committing Bob. Goodbye, Bob. Rip Bozo. Like
And
actual Rip
Bob
Bozo.
is dead.
Actual Rip Bozo. He's dead.
All right, here comes the Zen, untouchable again because he's on a high ground. They are on a high ground, and
They're not on the high ground anymore. They drop off the high ground.
Panda catches the kill on Synex as well. Tekujin wants to play the video game now. Is walking window for trance. You live through that. Dicko mode. What are you doing?
He got Mega. He's
He got
fine.
Mega.
He's
Oh my
running away.
goodness, he's running away. Here comes the swing through. Gets stunned. Is probably gonna be able to make it out though. No, but he recommits. This is just. They're playing with their food at this point. They're playing with their food because I still don't see a world in which Grimm pulls this out, but they get to third point. We have the heartbeat.
Yeah,
Don't
can we have
give
an
up.
emo check? Can we have an emo check on Rip Bozo, everyone in chat? Emo check for
Rip
055 ESDS obsessed. I guess it's obsessed. That's probably obsessed with fives instead of B's, I guess.
I'm not seeing it. I'm just
Do
seeing
you
the word.
have 7 TV or
I guess I do not have all the breakdown. I'm
you
showing.
don't have 17 TV, Fire TV, Better Twitch TV, fucking than other 50 billion ones, you know?
Unfortunately, I guess I'm not a pro Twitch chatter.
No.
Bolton Cake.
You're a freelancer. What happened?
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old school. You know.
Okay.
I'm old school with a pen and paper. I send in. I write it. I put it on carrier pigeon.
Draw it.
It gets sent to my uncle in West Virginia who has a computer. Uses dial-up to get it and then puts it in Twitch chat, and that's how I send my messages.
And dial-up
Bobby.
is how fast this rush comp is going.
Yeah, they
just
Grimm Coven is using dial-up for these engages.
Yeah, it's insane because it's just like they're playing a rush comp, but they can't rush, and they're not like they're trying to take like Narnia rotations, but they take 2 billion years to get where they want to go because they're trying to be safe, but it ends up being unsafe because there's just so much time they're exposed. I don't know. It's wild.
Read me the laws. I was there when it was written. As
We just charging.
Forces bomb. Forces bomb. You'll take it.
He's dead, by the way.
No. He lives. No.
It's not live. Another bomb eat. I don't think there's
10 seconds. This is looking like Hamster Zone is gonna be able to clutch this out. Mac tackle dodge dangerously low. Bolton Cake gets the kill. Maybe winnable. They're gonna be able to touch this. You don't want Diva to lose Mac. Bolton Cake is 1 HP, hiding in the lamp. Be able to
surely they can't win this, right?
Ah!
There's Bob. There's Bob out. They lost Mac. Dicko mode is off-anged. Like he's ISO'd. He can't do anything. Bolton Cake can kill as many as he wants, but there's nothing that can happen. They got the res. Bolton Cake finds 1. There's mines on point. They can't even get the touch off. Bolton Cake finds a 3rd. But no, that's it. And Hamster Zone's gonna take the map.
GG.
I'm gonna be honest. My brain is in a worse state than it was before the match started. I'm gonna be honest. I have lost Overwatch ability and brain cells because of the amount of wackiness I've been experiencing.
This game is driving me to the bottle.
This is actually what it was in 2019 when people were watching like Titans versus Chengdu and they were just like watching some of those maps and just going, "What the hell is happening?" Oh, that's what it is. That is the actual Chengdu Hamster Zone.
Well, I have to ask now that we've seen the matchup. I mean, that was painful.
What's your prediction?
It was painful, to say the least. What was my prediction? The match is over! The match is over! There's no
That didn't stop you
already
before.
lost. They've already lost. The match is done.
Predictions up. I'm gonna go Hamster Zone.
No, I have to end the predictions, in fact. I have to choose the outcome. The outcome was Hamster Zone. So there we go. There we go. Hamster Zone has been selected. Well, we have seen Hamster Zone triumph over the Angs. They've ISO'd the Angs and such. I mean, what are some takeaways here? Is Ryan bad on Gibraltar? Is a Ryan Rush comp bad on Gibraltar?
Nah. It was
really
winnable.
bad.
It was winnable. So they took the path. They found the troll underneath the bridge, but they didn't know the riddle. So they weren't able to get past them, and then that's why they couldn't get to the back line.
A simple riddle problem was the issue there. Okay. And then worst, would you agree with that, or would you feel like it's more of a compositional problem?
I think it is. I think there was some mistakes on every map from every team. There was consistent spaghetti in certain situations. Lighthouse was the biggest example. I think Greece now has like the second highest amount of spaghetti in the world after that because of that Ilios map, but I think it was an unfortunate circumstance for them to lose that Ilios and then have to go to King, like they counterpick King's O, because then ask what happens and they pick Gibraltar, and you are not playing any other thing but Rhine. So when they have counterpick and Gibraltar's in the map pool, you cannot play the game.
Okay. Well, I mean, while this has been happening, we've also had, just to give a quick result of the other matches, Cat of the Day has beaten Stroll 2-1. And in addition, on the B stream, I don't know what the fuck happened. I think Triumph won. Yeah, Triumph won. So there we go. Triumph won on B stream. So that's what's happened on B stream as well. Oh yeah, we can see the results here so far. Rafflecopter is beating Paradise as well. And then there's still some other matches that have yet to actually occur.
That's
so
the next
far.
round of matches.
Yeah, it's the next round of matches. So, but we still have one more match left on this stream though for today. I don't know which. I don't know which match
Monkey
it
Flop
is.
versus Blue Screen. I think was
Monkey Flop versus Blue Screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we look ahead here, for the Monkey Flop Blue Screen matchup,
telescope.
Yeah, if we put our telescope to our eyeballs and we look into the future, as we know, light years, they don't reach us for many thousands of actual years. So when we look there, what are we thinking about that match? How are we thinking about that match? C-Dub, what are we feeling about it?
I'm feeling distrust, a little bit of anxiety.
Okay.
But overall, a little bit of bubbling joy.
Okay. Bubbling joy. And why? Any reason for the emotions, or you're just feeling those?
Like my therapist talked about, like, emotions. You don't always have to have a reason. You can just have them.
Okay, yeah. And so there's no justification behind those. It's just you just feel
mostly because I don't know who's on these teams at all.
It's the Jordan team versus like.
Okay, you don't have to bullshit. You could just say it. We're not running. That's fine. You don't know. So worst.
It's the Donk team versus the Jordan team.
Okay.
So it'll be an absolute fun time. You got Butters, who might be GM. You've got Bonesaw obviously on that team as well. Like, I'm just looking at this team. It's like you also have Sawdust on Monkey Flop. I don't know when Sawdust got here.
I don't know either. Let's ban them.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, we'll get them out of here.
Them. I just know them from ranked, and I will not comment further than that. But you've got an extremely. You have 4 tanks on Blue Screen apparently. 4 tank players, and so I don't know what that's gonna look like. But this team's also like. Jordan versus Donk is like this match. Well, it's not actually Donk playing, but it's his team. So I'm assuming his absolute degenerate energy is going to influence this team immensely. So, Monkey Flop is going to be interesting as well. So
I was on Left Michigan Baby Eaters with Donk, and he definitely has a way of playing the game and a way of thinking that is unnatural, you might say.
Unnatural.
Yeah, it's definitely banned in at least 6 or 7 states.
Okay,
and
well,
I know. Don't ask Donk.
He's the one with the wife lore that doesn't actually exist.
Don't ask him about Virginia. No, I know his wife. His wife is alive in Siberia, and we know it. And he shuts down the truth. At every pants that he can.
This is why you don't ask about it, because the rabbit hole goes really deep.
Yeah, the rabbit hole seems like it does go very deep. Well, so interesting matchups to come here. We still need to set up and get everyone to lobby for the following matchup. So. We'll probably get that figured out soon. I guess in that case, we'll probably just throw to break because I don't think we have any interviews currently set up right now. So, Solomon, how about we throw to break and we will come back and figure out whatever else is happening here. But stick around. We still have one more match left here on the A stream, and I think at least one more match on probably the other streams. I'm not quite sure, but definitely one more match left here.
But the command is wrong. It's not Solomon. It's BPL_2.
Yes, well, BPL_2 is the B stream, but there's also Bad Patchy Mario League.
Well, yeah, but the exclamation streams command happened in chat, and it's wrong. It said Bad Patchy Mario League and Twitch.tv/Solomon. We know Solomon doesn't stream on that channel. That's a lie. It's a myth. Yeah, so it's BPL_2.
You know, actually, before we swap the break, I need to read this comment. This kind of shit is what the Overwatch community needs. Been watching you on Plat Chat and just found out you had a stream. Most people don't know I have a stream because I don't stream that much. It's the problem. That's the first problem there. But I'm glad you like it. You
play Lego Star Wars like every 2 months.
I do play Lego Star Wars. I need to finish It Takes Two with Jaws and the new Lego Star Wars with Jaws. Solomon, can you send us to break so we can set up the next match? I don't want to talk anymore.
No more patience when I'm feeling low. I'm vacation.
and you obviously have a lot of damage coming in, boosted by that Discord orb. Yep, we are just getting into it here. The D.Va a little bit on the flank here, and now we are onto the soldier, pumping out the damage, getting one pick, pops the tactical visor, onto the wrecking ball, gets another pick, and going after the tracer, not gonna get the third, gonna get shut down. Good attempt from Legs there, not quite gonna be enough to flip the point.
Yeah, we saw Gavin and Falsewords coming in very aggressively at the start of that fight, but just getting completely shut down by the rally. And then Selfish was able to push back out with their ultimates.
Right now, would you say the coordination is a little better from Selfish?
For sure, they're doing a great job at trying to deny the aggression coming in from Faithless and just sticking together. And then going in, just picking a target, completely destroying them.
I do think they also have the favorable positioning, taking the point first. They get to play up instead of back, and they are stopping them from even getting pressure onto the point. That's where you get kind of sticky. Gavin spinning right here to try to get the win. Gonna get stunned out and focus down. That is a theme we are seeing in the early parts of this match here. And we're back to the soldier and onto the D.Va now. The bomb going away, not gonna get anybody, forces out the transcendence. And lots of picks coming in for Selfish. That kill feed is all red in the positive. Got the trans coming out, and it is all Selfish right now. It looks like we're gonna get a touch from Joshin and going to quickly fall. So a very dominant point one from Selfish.
For sure, yeah, and I think winning that first fight, getting the rally, they just built up so much momentum, and they were able to carry it through with good aggression, denying Faithless any chance to kind of use their ultimates.
Yep, really you saw Fadeless, they were trying, but they just couldn't quite get in coordinated. The ball would go in and fall over. Looks like we're gonna swap things over to more of a brawl comp, which is pretty standard on this point. Makes sense given the geometry of the map. The Ryan gonna be able to swing here, and we'll see if Fadeless is able to stabilize around the Reinhardt, or if he gets focused down immediately again, like what we saw on the Wrecking Ball.
It'll be interesting to see which team gets the point fastest, because that's often something that can decide the first fight.
It looks like they're going to meet on the backside of the point here. The dueling walls from the maze. The blue team's wall is a little better than the red team's. And now we've got the Mei here going to get the pick on the Reinhardt. And once again, Gavin falling first. That is the key theme that we're seeing through the early point of this match. And when your main tank dies, that is a recipe for disaster.
For sure, and Selfish is so good with that focus fire to get that main tank and give them a huge advantage in this fight.
No, the focus fire has been key for Selfish, and we got the window early here and the wall. Still not quite giving it up here. The red team did take control of the point, and they do eventually take full control of the fight and full point control.
Yeah, Evan did die using that window, but Faithless weren't able to kind of stabilize around that and potentially push that advantage.
Right. No, there was good picks there. There was potential for Faithless to swing that back in, but it was a little too late. We do see, I guess, an even amount of ults for the sides, for both sides. And we will just have to see. We've got them fighting over the point here. Morby getting frozen up here, and lots of damage pumped into him. Is he going to be focused down first?
Good lamp.
Oh, fantastic lamp. Absolutely massive shatter, and that's going to be multiples down on Selfish, and this should give Faithless the first control of the game for them. Staggering the baby D.Va here, getting a little bit more point, and the Lucio getting focused down as well. And now Fadeless ticking things up.
Yeah, they've taken control, and both teams not looking at many ultimates here. D.Va bomb from both sides. Potentially Evan can build another window, but that's all we're really looking at for this fight.
Right. getting into the early parts here. The red team going to rotate around to the back side of the point. Everyone getting walled out. You want to catch somebody with that wall and separate them. It looks like they're going to get a few separated off with the red team's wall. And the Diva Bomb coming in here. Not going to get anyone. Couple picks on Fadeless. The early goings here. Window for Fadeless. The Diva Bomb coming out. This should be a point. Yep, the point has been flipped. And still an ongoing battle here. Gavin's doing a much better job of staying alive. Dueling out and demeching that Diva. Are they gonna flip this point back? It sure looks like they are.
Looks like they are, yeah. Seems like Selfish just kind of couldn't keep it focused, couldn't keep it together. They took the point, but they weren't able to just stabilize, focus down the remaining targets of Fadeless. And now Fadeless has the point with looking at almost 4 big ultimates.
Right on, yeah, the Brawl comp looking much stronger for Fadeless. They are doing a much better job focusing targets. Sim TP over to the backside for the red team. The Shatter coming in, the pin on the Diva, and the freeze. So much crowd control.
And we are back. We're here for the final match of the day here for the first day of Sub Tournament 5. And the Swiss system, it's doing its thing. It's remaining neutral. It's harboring gold from places that are dubious. And thirdly, it is also on top of that, delivering us 2 teams that are both 1-0, I believe, currently in this upcoming matchup. I don't remember the teams' names. I think it is Monkey Flop and Blue Screen, in fact.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, my fellow people here next to me. Yes, okay, Monkey Flop and Blue Screen. Well, let's talk about that then. So, Wavy. It is Wavy, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Not Wivy? Okay, good. Wavy. Wivy, that's more of something that like people are looking for online. They're going to Tinder for stuff like that, looking for a Wivy. So, Wavy, let's talk about these upcoming squads. Now, you said both you and Pio don't know too much about these upcoming teams compared to the other teams. Is that correct?
Yes, and as
so
much
we're all
as,
useless, right?
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we are as useless as all of us upon this earth. But the good news is, at least when it comes to these 2 teams, looking at what they've done previously, I can definitely see off the top that at least in the matchup between Monkey Flop and Do This IRL, we had a little bit of closer of a match as opposed to Blue Screen and Gentleman's Club. Now, it's going to be interesting though, because if there's one thing I do know from these people on Blue Screen, they tend to be a little bit more of the comedians. We'll see how it goes though. We can see the rosters right now.
Okay, my YV is dead and not alive in Serbia, says Donk. So we already need some extra lore. So Pio, when we look at these squads here, we both said like, okay, our knowledge isn't as deep on them, but is there particularly a favorite heading into this, or is it kind of still evenly matched in your eyes?
I did cast the Monkey Flop map. I think they did well against Do This IRL. I don't know who will come back out on top here. Blue Screen looked a bit more confident and a bit more dominant against the Gentleman's Club, but I don't know. I don't know who will win.
Okay, so still a little bit up in the air.
Yeah, Blue Screen does look a little bit more dominant though, seeing as they have a bit more of the GM players.
I see. So you would say Butters is GM.
I was looking at Waddit too.
Oh, I see. So it's more so Waddit than it is Butters in this case.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
A little bit.
Well, let's see, when we're looking at these squads heading into the matchup, is there some compositions we should be looking at here, Wavy? Is there like anything that we're expecting from one of these 2 teams in terms of comp-wise, meta-wise?
Honestly, one thing I've kind of noticed a lot, at least in the recent games in general in this tournament, is it's very much, do you play ball or do you not play ball? And as much as I do enjoy the teams that do play ball because they can make games more hectic and kind of more chaotic, the true chess matches of the Rhine duels and the Orisa hold left click and walk to each other strategies, those can sometimes be a little bit more, at least analytically interesting. But hey, if you're going to run around and purposely trying to win by confusing your opponents, ball is the way to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if one or either of these teams ran it.
Now we see the player cams here. Blue Screen getting a little bit more, getting a few more player cams than the others. Jordan in complete darkness on the player cam talking to his team. So he's that looks to be like a piece of candy he put in his map. Oh, I love candy, love it. Big fan of candy.
I know for Jordan, it reminds me of that meme of XQC in his dark room, like looking lonely towards the rest of the world, while Dust is very much in character for his team, his camera looking as if it's decompressing and literally dematerializing in front of our eyes.
Blue screening.
Yeah,
blue
exactly.
Screening, yeah, blue screening, one could even say. So, I mean, overall, I generally like I generally prefer the teams that have more cams than the ones that don't, because I feel like we're getting more insight into the players' personas here. Bonesaw's holding a gun to the broadcast, so they won't change our opinions, though. Sadly, it won't change.
One could say Bonesaw is ready.
Yeah, one could say that. What is our ETA, Mr. Solomon, on getting into the lobby? 30 seconds. We have 30 seconds until we get into the lobby. So, final predictions here. If we're picking winners, who's it going to be? Wivy.
Honestly, I think it'd be a good, at least for me, it'd be a good pred to say 2-1 for blue screen.
Okay, 2-1 for blue screen. What about yourself, Pio?
I think I'm leaning towards a 2-1 for blue screen as well. I think with what Monkey Flops, or what I casted earlier in the day, I think they have some momentum that they can build off of to take map 1.
Okay,
I think blue screen can bounce back for 2 maps.
A split prediction here. Myself, it's tough to pick because I love Jordan's extremely high interview earlier for the Captain Showcase, but I also like the blue screen. I also like the blue screen branding and the players associated with it. They were holding him up at gunpoint though, and I don't accept that. So I'm gonna go with Monkey Flop just to make sure Bonesaw understands. You can't force me to do whatever. But I'm gonna hand the cast over to you. Our first map is Nepal. So good luck, YV and Pio.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. Now going into the compositions right off the bat, we are definitely seeing some interesting picks.
Bonesaw on his signature Bastion.
And obviously we still have a little bit of time for both teams to make their decisions, but if blue screen does end up going with this comp, this is very much the catch your opponents off guard. But at the same time, Monkey Flop with the double shield and the spam, they're going to probably have a good... If they can position themselves right, they should be able to deal with blue screen's composition pretty easily. But hey, getting the TP on point quick is definitely going to be handy in this scenario.
Yeah, it seems as we set up here, they're going to try and set up the Bastion in the corner.
Yeah.
Little poke as possible.
Yeah, early pick though on the side of Monkey Flop, getting the Lucio on the blue screen side, and that's going to be enough, honestly. Just getting that early pick, getting rid of the speed especially, so that nobody on the blue screen team can retreat or really move from their position at all. Good start, but 2 quick picks on the blue screen side really makes it an even trade, losing both the Mercy and the Hanzo. It still is a good position considering that Monkey Flop does cap point first, and with their comp too, there's really nothing that blue screen can do other than into them. But getting the pick on the Baptiste and getting the Orisa as well, it's going to be a quick flip back as well. It's a good way to recover from a not the best start on point for blue screen.
Yeah, as soon as 2 of them went down, it was kind of just over. But they did pull back. They pulled back. They were able to take the point again. Oh, what is this TP?
Ooh, yeah, interesting top right TP. Because at the same time, a couple of Monkey Flop rotated right side, and unfortunately though, it didn't really work out so well for Bonesaw.
Jordan very split from his team there.
Yeah, Line made with 2 kills there, trying to still keep his team alive, and the dragon comes through on the side of Monkey Flop, but unfortunately doesn't really catch anything other than a lamp. Butters does end up getting Vincent, and Riptide getting Doc as well means that, honestly, blue screen's in still a pretty good position after capturing the point.
Yeah. That was a nice rock from Jordan on the Riptide, though. We're gonna come up on our first Shatter. Is it the first or second for Dust?
I think it's the first. I don't think he's had an opportunity to really use it yet.
Yeah.
But even then, the Flux comes in and the lamp comes right back, but a nice fire strike from Dust after the Flux comes in is going to basically secure the fight once again for blue screen. A Flux from the side of Monkey Flop tries to even the fight out, but it's kind of a bit too late. Even though he does end up catching the Sim, which is a nice amount of damage down on the side of blue screen, it's still their advantage. They still control point in every way they want to, and especially with the Bastion back and the Bastion ultimate coming up, this is not looking great for Monkey Flop. Because, hey, if he hits the shots, Bonesaw will be ready. And here it comes.
Here it comes.
Yep. Going on the right side, getting rid of the visor, and gets the kill. But
does the Doc, though.
Yeah, that was not the best trade on Bonesaw's side, but considering blue screen is still keeping the point, it's a pretty good spot. And forcing the Valkyrie from the Mercy and getting the kill, too. Yeah, the fight's over. And honestly, 10% left. gonna be just sparing touches now.
Truth of behold, it wasn't a very good trade, but he did stop Vincent from Visoring, which was it was a right trade.
Ooh, okay, that was
that was odd. Wow.
Honestly, considering that the match started or the map started with Blue Screen losing their Lucio, I'm surprised that they kind of held that point for so long. A good like kind of aggressive defense on the side of Blue Screen.
Especially hard on that map.
Yeah.
With having a Bastion around and not it being open, but also not kind of open.
There's those close corners.
Yeah, close corners. Trying to get the Hanzo around the angles, trying to kill the Bastion and the soldier in there too. It was a little hard for Monke to do anything.
Now, the interesting thing too is Blue Screen seems to be sticking to the sim. Obviously on this map it's a lot more common, just TPing at a point. We'll see if either one sticks with it into the actual fight. But the main difference is we see here, even though we see basically an entire mirror comp on both sides, we have the Junkrat on one side and the Mei on the other. One team's going high ground while the other's going straight to point. Honestly, with the Mei, that's a good call. You can just wall him off, stop him from even getting there. But yeah, it's going to be chaos. We're going to have to see whoever can really control this point first.
They're gonna have to really try and get in there with the Junkrat spam. That D.Va's gonna be having work that's very hard, and Jordan is down.
Yeah, even with the good idea of going to point first, obviously with the Mei, it's usually a good call if you're gonna do the TP strat. Yeah, Blue Screen seems to be just kind of in the right positions with what they're running. Getting the Junkrat on the high ground there was a really good call.
They did get Monke did get a little bit distant with the rest of their team there. All split.
Yep, splitting up in a composition like this usually doesn't end up working out, especially whenever Blue Screen can just dump so much damage into whatever shields or frontline you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they're coming back out though, it seems to be a pretty close fight here up on this high ground, and the wall tries to split everyone pushing up, but the TP is actually really good. It gets them off the high ground and just back to point, and essentially makes it so that Monke can't take the fight that they want. They have to push into Blue Screen, and Blue Screen with their setup, they're just gonna basically flail on Sadist, not being able to really get much. And even though the wall is good to kind of negate a lot of the poke damage that Blue Screen can do from their position, the Shatter, I'm pretty sure didn't actually catch anybody, but the window was great. That's another very, very clean fight win by Blue Screen.
They did use 3 ults though. Well, actually they only used 2. Was it the other Shatter? They didn't use Shatter at all.
I thought they did.
No, they didn't.
Huh. I was very convinced it was they used Shatter too. It looked like he had an animation around the corner when the window, but no, apparently not.
I don't know, apparently not.
I think it might have just been a speed boost jump.
May have been, yeah.
Yeah.
The threat of one, really.
But now it's going to be the true MTD test. Which Ryan can land a Shatter and win the other fight. Now, the only problem is, even if you do land a Shatter here, Blue Screen has the advantage with their Tire and their Symmetra on point. The Tire doesn't get anything, though. Dust is saved by Beat and Lamp. That's a massive shatter on the side of Dust. Oh, baby.
Even if Doc's wall goes out, he had to get past that wall before he could shatter.
Very, very well played on the side of Dust. And hey, if we're going to talk about MTD, I'm pretty sure I kind of saw the future a little bit there with that MTD on the side of Blue Screen. And honestly, this seems like kind of a romp, because if Blue Screen wins this, if no one else can touch, this will be only 14% throughout 2 of the rounds here.
I don't think they can. They're not touching.
Unfortunate on the side of Monke, but a very, very dominant win on the side of Blue Screen, using Symmetra, using their aggressive defense to the best that it could be used in that scenario. Very clean win.
Yeah, very, very dominant on the Blue Screen side. They used their ults pretty well connected. It's just a really big shatter.
Yep, huge, massive. And hey, if there's one thing that this guy turned his enemy to, it was Dust. A very clean map on the side of Blue Screen. And obviously we're gonna have to see how Monke, rebounds from this if they can. Obviously they took the original series to a 3-map series. Do you think they might have a little bit of a tougher time on their hands this time around?
I think so too. I think they played to their strengths last time around. It was a bit more they had a bit more hit scan offensive during against do this IRL, but against the Blue Screen it's all rush. They're gonna have to have a little bit of work a little bit harder to use like as they said earlier, use that Mei to get that Ryan wall him off correctly. But it'll be a very hard game for them.
Yeah, well, at least if it continues on the way they're going. Obviously, Nepal is kind of a very rush focused map. We'll see if now obviously Monkey Flop can choose whatever the second map is. If that ends up being something that's very much to their advantage, we'll see if they can actually bounce back in the scenario. Now, I honestly felt like Monkey Flop's biggest downfall was not only did Blue Screen have a better idea of when to push in, but also Monkey Flop were kind of getting caught. They were getting split. Even whenever they weren't losing somebody, someone was getting kind of caught behind. So they're really going to have to clean that up if they want to take this to map 3.
It'd be a lot easier if they had like everyone together at once, like they're supposed to. Getting caught out, like out of position is just one way to lose a fight very quickly.
Now, I got confirmation of what the map pick is going to be for Monkey Flop here. We were talking about how a rush might not be the best thing for them, but they just kind of picked King's Row anyway. So we're going to be heading into King's Row on map 2, and honestly, we might see a different side just because the Symmetra isn't as usable as it was on Nepal. Obviously, Blue Screen running it on both points to a very, very like useful degree.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can kind of adapt on their feet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Blue Screen used the Symmetra Bastion strat on attack here on King's Row.
I was teased with that earlier in the Monkey Flop match against do this IRL. I was teased and then I didn't get it, but I think Bonesaw can get it this time.
But which team went for it in that series?
I think Monkey Flop did.
Oh, so it was the shoe on the other foot in this scenario, because we're seeing the Sim and Bastion on the side of Blue Screen.
They went the characters and it's like, I don't think so.
All right, so we're gonna have to kind of just wait and see how this goes. We do see the cams, almost every cam now for Blue Screen's actually up. We have a couple more on the side of Monkey Flop too. We have Wild Rose.
Red Rose.
Whoa. Okay, Wild Rose might have the blurriest cam I've ever seen. Okay, no, it's getting better now.
Yeah, it's getting better now.
Okay.
They do some about Wisex for Vincent.
Yeah, Wisex is in.
Wisex for Vincent now.
Okay. Not to mention, I got a good view of Pirate Spy, Peace Spy, and Proving Grounds whenever I cast him. He had a very, very good series of games in that tournament. We'll see if he can continue the form to take his team to a 2-hour series win and continue with them on in the tournament. But honestly, Bonesaw is indeed ready if you look at his posture. He's flexing. He's got the belt on his forehead like a true anime protagonist. We'll see how it goes. Now, King's Row, man. If there's only something we saw a little bit about in the previous map that we're definitely going to see a lot more of, it's going to be the main tank difference. Which main tank can get on top of the other this time around.
Yeah. After seeing map 1, Dust seems to be having quite a bit of dominance over Sadist.
Again, like,
in my opinion,
things can turn on a dime though. We don't know
things
exactly
can turn around,
how
but from map 1 it looks a little bit one-sided.
Yeah. I mean, 14% on 2 rounds on Control isn't necessarily the best map, but at the same time, this isn't, how do I say it? These aren't organizations with tons of money, pressure, and coaching put behind them. These are some people just trying to have some fun. So, hey, for all you know, one man could get tilted, one man could DC, one man's cat could jump on his keyboard, and we could have an entirely different series. But we'll see how it goes. We see some true coordination on the side of Blue Screen here. Their tanks are really spinning those mics on the mouses. I can't speak. Spinning those mice on the mouse pad. That's not something easy to say for the record. We are seeing double sniper on the side of Monkey Flop though. No Sim Bastion strats, not this time around.
No Sim Bastion. Wisex did go Bastion earlier though. Teasing me yet again.
It seems like Blue Screen is still kind of going for the rush with the Reaper and the Cassidy, and honestly, getting that first pick is gonna be enough. I mean, even with the lamp buying time, no one's really killing it. But hey, it still worked out. They got the pick, and they kind of pressured them enough where they couldn't push in. And ooh, that is a good pick. Again, that's gonna keep the aggression up. Yeah. Honestly, Bonesaw, much like he was in the previous in the camera before the match started, he's very much flexing on Monkey Flop right now, keeping Blue Screen in a great position. And hey, he's gonna continue to kind of sit around and before the choke. It seems like
Wisex gonna come this
Jordan knows. Jordan has some knowledge. he is aware, but it doesn't seem like, yeah, Bonesaw was able to escape, getting to the mini by the tower, but a quick window on the side of Monkey Flop gets a lot of damage out of the way, and Bonesaw dies to a quick flash. Doc getting 2 big picks, Butter is also going down. P-Spike does get a nice trade onto the enemy Rhine, making it a little bit more even for blue screen, but Doc getting a lot of very important kills here.
Oh, the shatter miss by Wadded.
Oh, man, if I could count how many times that's happened on one hand, I would have to, no, I couldn't even do it on one hand. The event of a Rhine shattering a jumping Baptiste, that's enough to make a grown man cry.
I did see this earlier, unfortunately.
Good attack though, especially after how dominant the aggressive defense was on control. It does seem like Monkey Flop adapted a little bit better running the Cassidy and getting those picks. Now obviously blue screen still wants to go on that aggressive defense. Getting that nice early pick onto both the Hanzo and the Reinhardt means they can probably afford to hold a little bit closer to their spawn. Get a little bit, maybe get a couple of staggered picks off, but it seems to be honestly a pretty even scenario, at least for the time being. They did get rid of Lamp on the side of Monkey Flop though, so there is an opportunity.
Oh, here comes the bomb. Ooh, that's
that almost worked out.
Is very cool. Oh, the dragon.
Oh, that was actually pretty well done. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not. Of course, everything here in the Avast Sub Tourney is intentional. But the way they kind of they used the bomb to force them into the hotel almost. To kind of have to make the Rhine make a choice, either back up down main or back up into the hotel. And with that, they used the dragon, and man, that was enough to clean them out. That's another pretty clean win, because that's going to give them like a nice chunk of second, just because they invested so hard to hold in close.
Mm-hmm. It'll be nice if we can see that maybe YZX or Doc can get a pick here, just to push the card just a little bit farther.
They do have the high noon.
Yeah, they do have the high noon.
But so do blue screen.
So does Dust.
Yeah, getting the fast thing. He gets the Diva. The Diva peaked just a little bit. Oh, this is a very skillful combo. Not to mention with the with Bonesaw's Death Blossom. Doc does end up using his high noon to sort of force them to back up a little, but that's kind of, at least in my opinion, a bit of a waste. The fight was essentially over.
Jordan having a ping issue.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Question mark?
Well, we won't find out exactly how bad his ping is, but if it's enough to call it out, it's definitely not like 80.
Yeah. He'll be fine.
No,
he's not in danger of anything.
For the time being, Monkey Flop is still slowly progressing. A bomb on the side of blue screen from Peace by big
we got
stun.
Stunned. Oh, shatter!
What a clean combo on the side of blue screen. Just getting rid of anybody on cart with the simple use of a flashbang. And not to mention the emote afterwards, Peace by continuing his great form from Proving Grounds into the Sub Tourney, what you like to see.
Yeah, especially with coming on the ults with blue screen's backline. They don't have a whole lot of DPS ult either. Only Dust can be close.
Yeah, the window here on the side of blue screen is gonna have to be the thing that gets the most value, or or someone on the side of blue screen has to get an early pick. There is enough time where Monkey Flop can, wait a little, but yeah, that early pick onto Sadis is gonna probably force him back. Yeah, Dust with 2 very big picks on the side of blue screen. They still invest the dragon.
Wasted dragon.
Yeah, that's back-to-back DPS ults from Monkey Flop in fights where they've essentially lost. Are they swapping? Oh, I know Doc didn't, but we'll see what YZX does.
YZX might. Nice stack.
Hang on. It might have been something where by the time he... Oh.
Nope.
No. Oh,
faking AFK. Nah.
They need to stop pause champing us in moments like these.
Bruh.
Yeah, but on the side of Monkey Flop though, after a pretty good first and a pretty good kind of first attack on second, they're kind of just being held in this middle area. Very aggressive Deadeye on the side of blue screen really kind of forces them into a corner. A stun right click, they do end up staying alive, and I believe the lamp was actually very clutch. Yeah, they killed Waddit, but they kind of traded Doc for it as well. And not to mention, Dust is on a good flank here. Dust is on a really good position. A nice backline kill to Y6, and knowing that there's no one in the backline to save him from the Reaper, Bonesaw comes in, gets 2 important picks, and that's another one to fight for blue screen. After a really good start to their attack, Monkey Flops is kind of getting very much stalled, and those lost sort of ultimates they kind of threw in fights that they basically had already lost are kind of coming back to bite them now. Obviously, Monkey Flop does have some ults coming up. It isn't all doom and gloom, but blue screen has basically the same ones.
Yeah.
Window early on the side of blue screen really tries to be aggressive and keep Monkey Flop in spawn, forcing them into only maybe one more fight.
That Reaper is very dangerous, though.
Unfortunately, both Ryans go down. Bonesaw just continues to roll, though. He's very much using the lack of pressure on him to his advantage, and Dust is also just hitting shots. He's clicking heads. that last shot too is just a testament to what this man can do. Hey, like I said earlier, if you don't worry about him, he can turn his enemies to dust. Jordan going for the D-Mech kill doesn't really work out in his
Jordan
favor.
alive. He's gonna get staggered.
Oh, that's unfortunate. It's basically forcing Monkey Flop in the last fight here.
That's a lot of time lost now.
Now, Monkey Flop, all they got too for ults is a beat and maybe a shatter. The emergency swap to Zarya on the way as well. Blue Screen has the bomb, and last time they used it in like very, very good coordination with their team. They're going for it again.
They have to hurry up the touch there.
Okay, no, that was actually a really good play. They kind of forced the engage. They used beat so everyone lived and kind of forced them to touch point, but in a good way. Peace by Frozen. Wisex is an early pick onto Wadit with the lamp down also on the side of Blue Screen. It means Monkey Flop can actually finally take that advantage that they haven't had throughout most of the middle part of King's Row. And yeah, this is going to put Blue Screen in a position where they might be able to contest one more time here on second, but with these stagger kills, probably not going to be a good contest. It's going to be a desperation one.
It looks like just Wadit is set up for it actually. Just
no emergency swaps, which is good. They do have enough ult charge where they can probably fight one more time here. Really good wall though on the side of Monkey Flop. They're still contesting. They're still forcing you out. Oh, Bonesaw gets a kill onto Wild Rose too. Big shatter. Sadist actually kind of evens up the fight, knowing that everyone was in the backline. He doesn't even care about shielding the High Noon. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you first. It doesn't matter. Kind of a desperation High Noon on the side of Blue Screen, making a similar mistake to what Monkey Flop did a couple times in second, and now Monkey Flop's the one playing aggressively, really trying to get those stagger kills onto third. And yeah, getting the D-Mech onto Peace By is a really nice addition to get, considering they have so little time on the clock.
So switching to that Junkrat, opting to have a little bit more spam for part 3 of the KR map.
Oh, High Noon from Doc, the wall up High Noon, almost worked out. Everyone's stuck in the bottom left corner like a streamer. And at the same time, it's just a bad position for Blue Screen to be in. They can't poke, they can't deal the damage they're supposed to. But with the window, they finally get that opportunity, and a nice fire strike from Wadit on Zizzy gets them, as well as Bonesaw getting onto Sadist. Yep, that clears the fight. After being stuck in the corner, just the use of one ultimate puts Blue Screen back in the driver's seat. One more fight on the side of Monkey Flop with both Blizzard and Window coming up means they're still in a good position, but Blue Screen does have the beat and the shatter, and Wadit has had a couple opportunities to hit shatters here. They'll really have to make a big one here if they do want to win the round, though.
Just make sure this Blizzard doesn't get eaten.
Yeah, that's very much key. Oh, it's an early pick onto Doc despite the grav. Oh no, that's really unfortunate. Wadit with a shatter kill onto Wild Rose. Yeah, this is not the best position to be in if you're Monkey Flop. You got the ult you wanted in the grav, but 2 picks on the side of Blue Screen. Yeah, unfortunately, that's it for the attack of Monkey Flop. They did get towards third after getting stuck on second for quite a while, so not the worst attack you can have on King's Row, but not the one that installs the most confidence trying to get back into the series. Now, we'll have to see if Blue Screen takes a page out of Monkey Flop's book, in the sense of maybe running that Sim Bastion on attack.
Maybe. Bonesaw has been one to favor the Bastion a bit.
Not to mention too, it's not only Bonesaw. I mean, the one swap obviously that also happened was I think it was Lime. What was it? Limeade or Rorschach. Yeah, well, Limeade running the Sim a lot on the first map. Obviously, with the swap onto Dust or Dust coming in now, maybe they're not as comfortable playing the Symmetra. Maybe they're a lot more comfortable playing other heroes. But hey,
that's what I think too. Yeah, they wouldn't be as. I think Limeade is a bit more flexible with playing those characters than Dust is, seeing as Dust has been playing on the Cassidy.
Yeah, but when he's been on the Cassidy, he's been on. Like, he's been very, very crucial in these fight wins for Blue Screen on this map. Now, honestly, I'm just really excited to see Bonesaw playing Genji.
Bonesaw Genji.
We'll see if it works out. Hopefully they have a better faring than other Genjis we've seen so far in this tournament. Man.
Yeah. I saw Wisex earlier in the day.
Pop out the Genji.
Do so well, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. A quick push on the side of Blue Screen gets quickly parried by the side of Monkey Flop. Again, a lot of teams in these rush comps going for those aggressive holds can usually bear some fruit on the side of victory, but no, Wadit gets that early kill onto Sadist, means once again Blue Screen can be the aggressive selves they want to be, and getting that pick onto Wild Rose too. at this time, Bonesaw is just running rampant. Bonesaw is indeed ready in this scenario, getting the kills for the team that he needs, and along with the assist of his team, that's a very, very quick first cap on the side of Blue Screen. Force them into their spawn, too. The DMAC,
Does get the DMAC on Jordan, though.
They'll be able to swap before, like, swap to and back.
Yeah, there we go.
Or, I think they're actually sticking on Zarya. Zizzy gets a kill into Bonesaw, too. Bonesaw a bit too aggressive. Yeah, a couple people got caught.
They're gonna push him back to the point, though.
Ooh. This is a similar scenario, like to exactly what happened on attack, but like the teams are swapped, right? Person caps first on their first or second push, and then the other team kind of gets an early pick on the aggressive defense and is able to hold close. Now, honestly, too, with the Zarya in the mix, obviously D.Va's more kind of versatile, but Zarya, you know, if you can get the charge and if you can beam that D.Va down, you can definitely have that sort of, maybe not advantage, but you can have that sort of opportunity to get an early pick on the side of Monkey Flop. We'll see how it goes. Jordan's still pretty slow in the ultimate, but Bonesaw does have the blade. We'll see if he pops it. An early window on the side of Monkey Flop, too, to continue to push him back.
Oh, Dust is behind.
Dust is kind of in a aggressive position, to put it mildly.
He popped it.
The visor pretty much had as much use as a blade without nano.
And that blade did, in fact, did nothing. No, he popped it already. Yeah, he's switching over the Doomfist now.
So both sides end up having DPS ults that fare to nothing, but hey, at least on the side of Monkey Flop, they're keeping their defense strong, and the quick swap onto Doomfist doesn't seem to be working out so well, at least not in that first fight. It was a bit of almost like an extended fight, so we'll see how it goes in a more constructed one on the side of Blue Screen, but again, it's the close holds that sometimes can frustrate you, just trying to leave your spawn, getting stuck basically 2 meters outside where you're just, dying and repeating. But they're kind of going a different route now, though.
Yeah, sticking to that high ground. I don't want to really get close to that Mei, especially with the Blizzard.
Mm-hmm. Now, and also on the side of Monkey Flop, they're all coming up close to their first grab, but unfortunately it's still a couple of percentage away. Wisex is on the point, really trying to hold it. Yeah, they flip sides. Monkey Flop is really holding on cart while widescreen is blue screen. The window made me think of widescreen. No, they did end up using that kind of rotation to their advantage, though. A very, very clean attack on that sense with that team kill.
They still did not use that Blizzard, though, especially with everything going on. That would be good for next fight.
According to Doc, it's a Jordan graph. Don't worry about it.
It's a Jordan graph. Don't worry about it.
Hey, and the best part is that isn't even like cross-team shit talk. That's same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how Monkey Flop fares on their defense now that they're kind of in a similar spot to where they got held for a decent while on their attack. Bonesaw's on the flank, though, really trying to get a sneaky pick from the backline as a Doomfist. Unfortunate timing, though, is that the rest of the team really pushes up for the rest of the... Oh, man, that great Blizzard on the side of Wisex, too, really keeps everyone locked in that kind of more S-shaped portion of the map.
Does? The High Noon against Doc?
That's a good pick, though, on the side of Blue Screen. They might be able to extend this fight a little bit longer. Spawns are about even, though, so it's really going to be whoever gets the next pick. It's
Monkey Flop is backing up, though.
Yeah, they are getting a little bit of space.
They're going to get the... Blue Screen's going to get the push the card a little bit farther.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, it makes sense, because if you are going to hold them, it doesn't really matter if you hold them just around the corner or here. The distance is almost the same, and 2 really big kills from Sadis really gets a great position for Monkey Flop to be in. Zizzy also getting the kill on Sherb with the boop. Peace By does get the kill onto Wild Rose, but it just gets staggered, and honestly, a pretty similar... it feels like deja vu when it comes to these teams on the sides, like... Besides a couple of small differences, the teams are getting held in the same parts of the maps that they were previously.
Yeah,
now,
especially Jordan on the Zarya.
Yeah, I was going to say the Zarya is the only really big difference, I guess, because Jordan didn't swap to Zarya until, I think it was 3rd, whenever Monkey Flop attacked.
Yeah.
One more chance here. Or no, well, more than one more chance. A couple more chances, but another chance here for Blue Screen. The window is going to push him back, at least from that corner. And unfortunately, Wadit's a bit caught off with that wall as well. He's really getting pressured, forced into that back left area, and Wadit's down. The lamp comes out a bit early on the side of Monkey Flop, but honestly, just to win the fight, secure it, especially in a fight where they knew they had the advantage, that's a pretty good decision. It's forcing Blue Screen back. As long as Monkey Flop doesn't lose 1 or 2 people here, this is going to be another pretty clean fight win on the side of Monkey Flop, really making their case to not get rolled as we expected at the start of the map.
Yeah, I agree, especially with, they do have Jordan's graph online, they're going to have the Blizzard again, they have Doc's High Noon. they could get both backline support ultimates in this next fight.
More so Lucio. Well, honestly, both teams.
Actually, both of them. Yeah, both of them. They're both around the same. Oh.
Really high noon from Dust, and even though the high noons were traded, he gets another pick onto Wizix, which is a very crucial fight. Honestly, even with that, Jordan's, considering how low he is, he's getting a lot of work done just to stall even more time off the clock. And yeah, with Lucio alive, even though they're going to back up once again a little bit around the corner, even though the fight seemed to be won by Blue Screen just for a second there, it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Possibly last fight territory here.
Yeah, essentially. And Blue Screen does have 4 ults now as opposed to Monkey Flop's upcoming 4, 2 right now. Wadit is really going to have to land the Shatter. The wall on the side of Blue Screen tries to lock off the main tanks, and the Shatter does connect. Unfortunately, the wall and the lamp just weren't in the right position. Baptiste was on the other side, essentially, of the wall, and it wasn't good. It wasn't enough support to really keep the team alive. And
yeah.
That'll be the end of second, but again, very similar to the Monkey Flop. Not much time on the clock as they enter here on second. They really only have like 1:30 to finish off the map here. Not to mention too, it's one of those scenarios.
Why is Wizix still my English? Still holding on to that blizzard.
That's gonna be really crucial for Monkey Flop here. Early Shatter from Sadist. Oh, that was a 4-man Shatter, and even though the lamp does save them temporarily, the bomb is also coming out for Blue Screen to try and keep them in the fight. They do end up getting, Bonesaw, massive Death Blossom, 3 kills on the side of Blue Screen. That fight was honestly going back and forth with one good ult after the other, but it seems like Blue Screen once again. Jordan is
investing.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing he probably should be investing in are some Jordans. I don't think the grab was good enough. But in that scenario, Dust also gets a good stagger onto Sizzy. That's another really good pick, considering that this is essentially the end of the map, too, with where Monkey Flop finished. It looked so good. The Blizzard comes onto point as well, but Wizix is really trying to keep Monkey Flop in the fight. Bonesaw gets an early pick onto Doc, though. Not the greatest position for you to be in, losing your one of your main stuns in your composition. Sherp also the pick onto Sadist. Man, Blue Screen, the one thing they did differently in this game of Deja Vu, this map of Deja Vu, was they got further, and that's a 2-0 sweep for Blue Screen onto Monkey Flop.
Very, very dominant game for Blue Screen.
Second map was a lot closer, though.
Yeah, second map was a lot closer. Even if part of that difference was putting Wadit in tech and Dust on the DPS, which actually did surprisingly well.
No,
against Doc, who was another DPS player.
Dust was very much hitting those shots. It was very entertaining to see, just because, as we predicted, Blue Screen were the favorites, and they came out, proving us right. We didn't get the predictions right either of us. 2-1 on either side isn't necessarily correct, but we did get the winner correct, which I think we can, put that badge on our lapel and hold it for the rest of the day at least.
We beat Avast.
We beat Avast. I mean, to be fair, I understand Avast's perspective, though. Cheering for the underdog is something I usually always do. So I get him. It's just at the same time, as we mentioned earlier, we're kind of just, not the most knowledgeable about these teams. So we're kind of going off of at least not only their previous performances today, but also how the players have played in the past.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we'll see how everything else goes, but a very nice way to finish off the day, I think, at least for the A stream. Clean, put it simply.
Yeah. Blue Screen getting two 2-0s.
Not to mention putting themselves in a really good position for the rest of the competition. I think it might be a bit early to say this, but Blue Screen might be a team to beat, considering that they've not lost a map so far, and especially how dominant they look on Control too, at least on that map.
Yeah. It's funny. The both teams that I've seen have gone to Nepal. I haven't seen any other map being played.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I believe it's 3 choices for each game mode, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I like to think that Nepal is one of the most balanced Control maps. So I would understand if you're going from like a Overwatch purist's perspective.
Yeah.
Now, as the rest of the games go on, we still have a couple of matches in the works right now. On the C stream, we have Grimm Coven currently still 1-0 up against the Gentleman's Club, while on the off stream, we have Disrupt against Salavibes. Now, we'll have to see who ends up winning those competitions and making it even further. But as for tomorrow, we still have plenty more games to come towards. And as for As for Monke Flop, they're going to have to really fight tooth and nail to continue or to kind of come off of this loss and prove themselves more in the tournament.
Yeah, I agree. They had to work really hard to get the win against the Do This IRL, and did not have that momentum I saw earlier in the day to win against Blue Screen, but they'll have to work a little bit harder to win against the rest of the tournament.
All right, so we do have some interviews coming up as well. We have 3 players, Made and Butters. Welcome to.
Hello.
Hello.
You're already on the stream. Now they can hear you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So far in the competition, I think this is a good way to start this off. You guys have yet to lose a map, and at least in this series against Monke Flop, your control was pretty dominant. How do you feel your confidence is right now off those first 2 wins you guys got today?
It's pretty sky high. I mean, we got only shooters on this team. I'll be honest with you. You know, we're doing it for Charlene. We're not gonna lose anymore. We're not gonna lose any maps, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's alive, living off the coast of Cuba. Don't believe Donk's lives. Don't believe flies.
I'm getting contradicting statements here. I need to get a fact check. Pio, can you help?
I don't know anything.
She's alive.
What I do know is that you guys are going into the next part of this tournament with very big momentum. I am very interested to see how you guys think the rest of the tournament will come out. What teams do you think you will have to work harder to play against? Like
Max team.
I thought it's a
Max
single
team
team
for
that
sure.
can do this right now.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, we solo Max team, but they are the hardest team to play
Tekko's
against,
team has
for
2
sure.
Ghosts. That one might be difficult.
That one's a little frightening. He's a
Yeah,
shooter.
for
He's a
sure,
shooter for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I do personally think that as long as like our in-game performance just keeps being like this high, I think we have a lot of natural cohesion. And I think that'll just bring us through naturally to more wins.
Another pretty good thing I'd like to say too is, at least in the first map, obviously when you were in Limeade, you had a great game on the Symmetra, I feel.
Thank
do you
you.
think this is something that's going to be like, do you think, obviously we know you're a pretty flexible player, do you think Symmetra is going to be the role you're going to probably stick to for most of this competition, or do you think you have more up your sleeve?
I don't know, because I played Symmetra during a warm-up scrim against Monke Flop, and I was inting my brains out. But then when I actually played them in a game, I started playing better. So I think it's mainly like how the team is able to enable me. So I can play any hero that they need me to. So maybe it'll be some Sim in the future, maybe it'll be some Cass, maybe even some Widowmaker if we're really winning. But yeah, I think it's mainly dependent on what the team wants me to do. I just follow the suit.
A true professional in the sense of whatever the team wants me to do, I'll do. Very respectable.
Thank you.
And I guess the last sort of big question I would have is any specific people, at least so far, that you have really kept your eye. I know we mentioned teams, but in terms of your team, is there really any specific player you really want to shout out as like your day one MVP?
Riptide.
Riptide for sure. Riptide has been playing very well.
We've like scrimmed like what, twice? So we have like, I don't know, like 12 scrim maps. Riptide has eaten like 20 plus goals.
Yeah, it's insane. He eats at least like 2 per map. Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Sherb. I had no idea who he was, but that guy's a demon. He's a demon on the main support.
Definitely a shooter.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sherb apparently someone was flaming them in the chat saying they skipped a match to complain this. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about.
It was worth it.
I don't know if it's a collegiate thing or whatever.
A little bit of context there.
It could be like Flux Cup or something.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. If it's a collegiate mat, fuck your college. I don't care. Like whatever. Like we're playing the sub tournament. Okay, we got big shit going on.
This is the truth.
We got big stuff happening.
This is the highest stage.
So I didn't mean to interrupt the interview here, but we have to give some context of what's happening now with the. So there still is technically one match ongoing because there is on C Stream. There's Grimm, Coven, and Gentleman's Club tied up 1-1.
Yeah, it was 1-0.
Tied up. Well, yeah, it was 1-0. That's correct. Now 1-1, meaning they have won the match. So sequentially, we've gone up to 1-1 now. So there is still one match remaining. It's on BPL_2. But what we're going to be doing here is we're going to take the main feed. We're going to take that feed. We're going to put it on this feed in the Avast stream, and then we're going to let the casters finish up there, and which is Rose Hour and Otters, and then we're going to then close out the stream from that point. So just wanted to let everyone know that's watching this right now. That's what we're going to do on this stream. Do we have any closing remarks for the interviews here? Anything Butters or any of the other players want to put out here before we probably bring up the other feed?
I'm gonna get the 3-time, back to back to back. I ain't losing this one.
Okay, going for the 3-time. Fantastic. Well, Solomon, let us know. Like, are you just gonna throw it up right now, or are we gonna? Do we have a bit of delay? Like, what's gonna be the process for that? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, because that's what we're gonna do. So, fantastic work here, Wavy, Pio. Thank you for casting all the players and everything. But we're gonna go ahead and throw up the BPL 2 stream with Gentleman's Club and Grimm Coven up on this feed now, and then that's going to be the last match of the day, and then we'll close out when it's done. So fantastic work, everybody. Solomon, you can go ahead and just bring it up, and
there you go.
We'll go from there.
With Grimm not having a Mei of their own, not able to utilize Mayults in the Rush Mirror or the Mei Wall to block out other Mayults, they did also go onto the Zarya, not able to eat any Mayults. That is definitely the main thing you think about when you play Mei. I need this Mayult not to get eaten. Definitely makes Mayult a lot worse. So, really curious on what Grimm Coven is going to think about next coming into their map pick. Would they also want to try Rush again? If it was up to me, I would think, while Tekogen is very well known for his Reinhardt, you would have to think that they would want to change into a map where their DPS can get more value on those hit scan heroes. And we will be going to Junkertown. I was correct.
Going into Junkertown. Hello, mainstream. Otters, we are on.
Oh my!
Our feed is going to all 300 Avast viewers. Hello, chat.
Hello, chatters.
Yeah, welcome to the third and final map of what has been a very exciting series. Nail biting at moments and utterly dominant for individuals in the server at others. Junkertown is going to be interesting because, like you sort of alluded, this is sort of a break from the comps which have dominated. Yeah, the comps which have dominated this matchup up to this point.
I'm really curious to see who Gentleman's Club has in on this map, because so far we have just seen Ahi on those Sim and that Mei hero. I do not want to see the Ahishi Widowmaker. That is not something I want to see today. Albert, is definitely going to be having a field day on this map, but is the rest of his team ready to follow up is the big question. If Grimm Coven is not able to follow up on Yez hitscan prowess here, it might be a tough game for Grimm Coven.
It's going to be a very tough ask for both of these teams because, again, no matter how you've been building up your confidence or how you've been like rethinking your game plan throughout the series, this map is going to be a complete divergence from whatever you were prepping like mid-series. You have to lean away from the rush looks and more into those pick comp looks, as we see right now. Grimm Coven is currently hovering the double sniper. Man, I feel so old.
Really surprising to see Ahi back on his main role, in quotation marks, back on his Brig hero.
The Ahi Brig.
They are putting him back in Garden as I was expecting. Wasn't really sure what Ahi could have done there. We will be seeing Mani be swapped out for Ahi. They will be wanting to play this brawly type double shield where they run into the enemy team. This definitely makes it so tanks and supports make a bigger impact for Gentleman's Club. I'm liking this type of change.
Yeah, he's doing already so much chip damage right into the top of the head, but Carter instantly responds with an arrow across the map, straight into the head of the manager for the Florida Mayhem. Grimm Coven, though, will be getting some cart push.
Hydron did not teach him that
corner,
angle.
and Pandemon finds 2 with the singular storm arrows. The damage boost and the pull, so good for Grimm Coven. Gentleman's Club have to die on point, try to get anything they can out of this fight, but that was such an explosive play from Pandemon.
Just
the immortality from Bolting Cake. The immortality from Bolting Cake saves Cypher before anything can remotely happen, and Carter's instantly switching over to the Genji. Gentleman's Club wants to respond to this fast. They need solutions, they need answers, they need pizza, and they need it now.
They need it now. That's what they asked for. I am liking this Carter drip we got going on with that suit, looking like Warden from Rainbow Six. Really, maybe this is why the reasoning on those headshots from Hanzo, but he is going to be swapping onto the Genji. This is pretty good with the Brig though, this is a very brawly type composition with the Genji Brig. You are looking to jump into them like they're doing right now.
Gentleman's
jumping
drop.
into them, getting that Brig Inspire and the Genji peel.
Pandemon on the
Tekken
off angle
very
with the
low.
Hanzo doing so much damage, but Teku taken out by Karts on 24 HP. Gentleman's Club is going to be able to just bunker up on this high ground for now. Teku's actually going to be rezzed back into this Valkyrie available for Will if Grimm Coven feel they want to just soft engage, get that group damage boost off. And it's actually going to be the Ant Matrix coming out from Bolton King. I'm not quite sure where that ended up going. Probably the edges are probably stuck in either wall. The Flux comes out from Cypher. It seems to be big. If that Immortality can go down in time, Ahi will fall. Carter does good to find one, but Pandemon from down below. Gentleman's Club is crumbling under the pressure.
Wasn't able to use that rally there. He was in the Flux when he got it. He was 99% before the Flux went out. They didn't have that invul field. That would have been a very different fight if Ahi had just had 1% more on that rally. Being able to live through that Flux, but wasn't ready for that.
So the backline for Gentleman's Club has been isolated here by Cypher. Paul running for his life from the Sigma and the Orisa chasing him down. Will end up with his teammates there. Grimm Coven is going to have to lay off the pressure just a little bit as Gentleman's Club storm back in. Blade available for Carter. Dragon Strike through from Pandemon. Forces out the immo, and Paul falls regardless.
Blade rally.
Carter is far too low to consider committing this Blade here. Will be taken out by Tekugen, and
Ahi rallies.
Struggling to stay afloat. Ahi chooses to commit the rally at a perfectly wrong time.
No.
Garden will fall in the end, and Grimm Coven with 5 minutes coming into this third point. Ults to spare.
That is not what you want to see coming out from Gentleman's Club. They definitely had a way to recontest with that rally Blade. Very strong here. Not pulling out the rally in time. They all died before it can come out. But, they do get to have it for this fight here with Flux Blade. And using that Flux to get out that invul field, will be able to get that Blade out. Cypher already has Flux on his own.
The Flux goes straight in. The Immortality field should come out. No kills given over from that. Peepo will find Tekugen. The Blade comes through. Carter swinging away. Not quite able to catch more than one. Will do good to find the Immortality, though. After the Blade dies down, will be taken out by Pandemon, but Garden stops the bleeding then and there.
A good spot for Gentleman's Club to hold here, being able to run that Brig Genji. They do want to be stuffing them here, not be able to get much value.
Bob's coming up. So that's going to be able to, stifle any run-out push that Grimm maybe want to try. Dragon Strike is going to be coming online soon for Pandemon, so Gentleman's Club should be taking note of that. Just trying to avoid grouping up on a singular angle too much.
Good choice to come out of that door instead of the one on the left, being able to make it a spam war. Karts does have a very nice off angle here.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a very neat little off angle for the Genji of Gentleman's Club. So much free damage. Nobody's even looking at him. He's literally just chucking shurikens for free. This dash that's like 30% of ult charge right there.
He just got
deflect will be canceled out. Deflect will be canceled out by the accretion, but Gentleman's Club
bongo. Oh, that's a big window though.
That's such a good play from Cypher.
Again.
Cypher comes in with 3 on
the
Flux. Make it 4. That was such a good, spur of the moment decision from Grimm Coven to invest there. Bolting Cake throws out the Ant Matrix. Bolting Cake throws out the Ant Matrix, and Cypher just gets so much cleave damage.
Club here. They only have the window. They have the Blade. They don't have quite the Bob yet. Albert taking that high ground in order to use the High Noon. Nobody looking at him. Oh,
Garden takes him out. In tandem with the Blade from Carter, swinging away. Georgie Boy nets 3 with what looks like a single use of those Hyperspheres. And a lot, I'm pretty sure that's basically everything short of a Flux that doesn't yet exist. That was everything Gentleman's Club had in that fight. Grimm Coven is going to be coming up on some more ults of their own, but
they're definitely going to be looking towards this Valk and this Bongo to get that much damage up. Since Paul and Peepo don't have their ults, they would be definitely just winning the fight if they get that Bongo started at the start of the fight. Since they are playing for that spam here, they're choosing to go under them, kind of forcing the brawl here, but it still works out.
Wins one, the Valk comes through. Lives are being spared for the most part. Rez should be able to come through here.
Aki getting so much peel
numbers
here. So much cleave.
Instantly equalized, but the numbers and the bongo or what's left of the bongo for Grimm Coven seem to be just enough to edge it out. Carter needs to connect right now. Peepo does manage to find Bolting Cake, but Will is very much still alive and no pressure on him at all.
He does have the blade here. Might be able
Carter
to get
pops
a
the
lock
blade.
on.
Goes in for one, hacking away. The flashbang is good, and the accretion on top of it. And that's a Genji moment if ever I've seen one.
Another rally from Ahi
Ahi's
that just
rallying
gets
out,
zero.
alone out in the cold. Another big flux potentially from Cypher.
A good kill on the Panda here. Might not be able to res that. Oh, there goes the res.
The Hyperspheres, the Ricochet doing so much damage as Pandemon finds another with the Storm Arrows. Garden coming out on the Doomfist will trade that out, but the numbers for Grimm Coven are there. Garden pops out, cancels out the accretion actually before it can happen. 21 HP left for the Doomfist of Gentleman's Club.
Real curious how this fight is still going on with so many of Gentleman's Club people just dying over and over again.
Neither team is really moving anywhere. They're just kind of peppering each other, taking some damage, resetting, running away, and repeating. But with that, Ye finds the opening onto Garden. Maybe that's just what they're hoping for. Peepo taken so low will be eventually cleaned up by Cypher. Georgie Boy needs to make something happen. Dives right onto Bolting Cake. Immortality forced out. Pandemon finds Ahi. And Bolting Cake is so safe. So much peel available. Garden will be able to pop right out with the Doomfist. Doesn't quite find anything. And nothing, can't make anything stick as Dragon Strike and High Noon come through from the DPS for Grimm Coven, and 13 seconds remaining on the clock. Grimm Coven lock up the final point.
It was definitely a better hold from Gentleman's Club, holding that last point for around like 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm still struggling to see them capping all this way without getting a rally that gets value out of Ahi. All these rallies have just been thrown into the wall. Obviously, Ahi being more well known for his diva gameplay. Last time I checked his profile, he was at the diamond range, maybe 3,500 if being generous on the support.
Oh, nice.
That is really unfortunate for Gentleman's Club. Not to be too mean to my boy Ahi though. He definitely has a chance to bring it back here. Brig is very strong hero.
That choice
he is choosing to swap over to the Zen.
This is what I was going to ask, because you know, Mani was pretty consistently getting value for Gentleman's Club in those first 2 maps on the main support role, so there had to be a reason why they opted out of him for this one, and I think it's just putting a little more faith in Ahi's raw aim.
Yeah, I would think about it. He is a 4,400 player. I would think that they want his mechanics, but Ahi is had chosen to play Brig
he's going for the trick
specifically
shot.
on this tournament. I am glad to be seeing a change coming out of Gentleman's Club here.
Yep. Ye is going for the spawn trick shot.
Still the same comp from Grimm Coven. Don't change what isn't broken.
And the shot comes out, no head flies, and Gentleman's Club muscle their way out of spawn. Really big dynamite from Garden, gonna give him about 20% of that bob right away. Pandemon with these storm arrows, trying to just tear those shields down. Yeah, Georgie's already posted up on the off angle. Pandemon so low, Georgie Boy manages to take him down.
Oh, no.
Will the Sigma be able to get out? Yeah, it seems
he's
like
able to get out, even though they
yes.
accretion his hands. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's still able to live here.
Yeah, he needs to find some value right now.
It seems that Grimm Coven is actually fine, even though they lost the first person. I don't really know what happened there. I think Gentleman's Club all backed up in order to save Georgie Boy, but they weren't able to keep up the momentum. And Panda was just able to come back. Maybe he got res, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the res came through. The res came through from where Panda died, and the rest of Gentleman's Club had to peel back to that like sort of tiny corner where Georgie Boy was, so that he didn't get punished.
Crisp clean 40% ult charge. It's okay. I believe in him anyway.
Well, happens.
It is a little hard to get a good angle here with all these windows coming out. He isn't really able to see anybody, to be honest.
And there's
not
so
really
much
Ahi's fault right now.
There's so much he has to like work around to like actually be able to farm ult charge off of this, because Grimm Coven are going to be so willing to just play around corners instead of like in open sight lines, and Ahi's going to have to pretty thoroughly expose himself, and Georgie Boy gets taken down. Pandemon doing so good to reposition around on that off angle. Popping half of Georgie's health when he thinks he's totally safe behind his accretion, or his kinetic grasp, rather.
I'm liking Grimm Coven's rotations here. definitely holding those lanes with the different the Hanzo and the Widow. Hanzo being able to rotate around, take out those people that just don't know where the Hanzo is. I would like to see more of that from Gentleman's Club as well. Maybe Georgie Boy and some DPS can come with him, take out those off angles, so they're able to finally use that Zen damage, so Discords.
So
Hyun will be
Carter now,
over to
Carter
Genji.
now back on the Genji. The Flux Dragon Strike is going to come in. The Bob to try to repel that aggression, but Pandemon nets 2.
They don't have the transit.
Ahi
That's a good kill from Ahi.
detonates Tekugen, but it shouldn't matter as, you know, Carter's without a deflect and without a dash and no man's land taken out. Ahi has a trance in hand now, but
They do have
Grim
the trance,
Coven-
and they don't really have anything to counter the trance.
Yeah, they're-
Might be able to just trance the window and push through it here.
Yeah,
that would
the
be
investment-
That would definitely win the fight for Gentleman's Club.
yeah, the investment of both the Dragon and the Flux in one fell swoop sort of drains you of all those area denial ults, but Pandemon comes up with another double!
Pandemon
He has
is
been
just going crazy.
scarily consistent in this map. Very present on that first one, you know,
We were
sort of
talking
clutching
about
up.
that before the game started, but it's been Panda that's been going crazy here.
Yeah, he also just like after a complete like disappearance, like a Carmen Sandiego moment on King's Row, he has made his presence loud and clear on this third map. It's the Pandemon world, and we're all living it at. Cypher is also going to get
looking at that webcam.
the ricochet angle onto Carter. Peepo's going to fall as well, and the time already ticking so low for Gentleman's Club.
We are at final fight here for Gentleman's Club.
They need to get out the door, and Pandemon's had another Dragon
Ahi,
Strike.
Georgie Boy, and Peepo have had these ults for such a long time. They haven't really been able to get out of spawn. Pandemon and Albert have just been getting these picks. Card's really looking to get his blade up here. Georgie
And
gets
Ye
a
finds
headshot
Georgie.
at a Flux. That is so unfortunate.
The Flux taken out of the picture. Dragon Strike invested. Superchargers in from both sides. Georgie Boy's going to be coming back on the D.Va.
Oh,
Carter is so low. And he's going to be taken out by Pandemon anyway, who has been an undeniable force on this map.
Kill on Teku. That is a good kill.
Cypher
That's
taken
a big
so
window.
low, but the healing is
Another
great from
Flux
Will.
From Cypher. Oh, and
Ye
there's
finds
the pick
Paul
from
from
Albert.
the depths of hell, man.
I was
And the
so
toes?
excited for Gentleman's Club after that King's Row victory, but it will be the win going over to Grimm Coven. Really unfortunate.
What was that, man?
My college friend is talking to me through the window while I'm casting. Oh, it's two college friends. They're out
hello,
there.
college friends.
Hello. Really unfortunate to end there with such a nail-biting game previously, ending like that.
What statement maps from Cypher and Pandemon? You know, Cypher subbed out for that second map, comes right back in and says, "No, I think we win." Actually, yeah, and just throughout the series, throughout this whole series, Bolt and Cake doing so much work for Grimm Coven, finding the picks when they need it, staying alive, and yeah, just a really solid team play from both teams.
Well, I'm also here now. I've inserted myself into this broadcast. So, Gentleman's Club, sadly losing 1-2 to Grimm Coven. Grimm Coven coming back, the Dicko mode, the Bricko mode, looking very strong here. Looking very strong here.
It's
only what?
It's only poetic. It's only poetic that the Florida Mayhem, the general manager of the Florida Mayhem, is the one to put hashtag bricked up in the O2 zone.
Yeah, of course. It is only right. Well, looking forward now and looking at our schedule here and things like that. Grimm Coven, they're now 1-1. Gentleman's Club, as I phase into the ether, I see on broadcast. I'm phasing into the ether.
You're definitely glitching out right there.
What is Gentleman's Club scoreline here? Also 1-1?
Looking at a 0-2.
Or are they 0-2? Now, as a little baseline rules here for the system, for those that don't know, because we've created society.text with this sort of system, is you can win, you have to win at least 2 matches to advance. You could lose 2 matches and still make it through. So, Gentleman's Club is technically not done yet. As I get I'm looking like the Hulk, increasingly. here.
Should I steal your Avast and we can go break it down on the main stream instead of on the C stream and then back onto the main stream?
Well, I'm already on the main stream. Or do you say, or do I have to go to the A Live channel?
Go A Live and we'll catch ourselves on the other side.
Okay, well, Otters and Rose Hour, thank you guys for the cast. We appreciate it. You did great work here. I'm going to head on over to the other channel to break down what the remaining matches and the days look like, but very good work from you two.
It was a pleasure, Mr. Prince.
Fantastic stuff. Otters, Big Floppa is your profile picture, and it annoys me because my good friend Rob loves Big Floppa, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand it.
Collegiate against Mr. Rob.
I just don't get it. But I'm gonna go to the A stream now. But good work, you two. I'm gonna go Lucio style. Let's break it down Lucio style here for this. So the Swiss system, as it's explained to me, is that you have to get 2 wins, but you could also lose 2 matches and still be fine. Correct.
Yep. We can show the standings right now. We are looking at it a little bit because it's a little funky. We're valuing opponent win rate more than maps because if you blitz through and you get 4 teams that are really easy and you go 8-0, that's less important than if you've won against a bunch of teams that have had a really tough schedule or they've done really well otherwise. So
okay,
that's why Fadeless is on top right now at 4-1, but Blue Screen is on top at 4-0. And this will also balance out a little bit more when each team gets more games under their belt. So it will look more normal afterwards. But yes, because it's a Swiss system, we know how the final structure will end. If you get 3 wins, or if you end 4-0, you'll go straight through to the bracket. If you go 2-2, it then is, of course, sorted by the opponent win rate, and only the top half of those will get through. So 3 out of the 6 that end 2-2 will get through.
Okay.
Top 8 will get through.
For sure. And when's the cutoff? And tomorrow are we only doing group stage matches tomorrow, finishing it out, and then Sundays is playoffs?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay.
We have all of these matches. You can see the second half of this round. We're basically stopping here for round 2. And we'll be starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern for the second half of round 2. And then we'll play the other 2 rounds. So it's 5 slots of Overwatch happening tomorrow.
I see.
To try and balance out our final standings.
Okay, makes sense. So tomorrow we finish out all of our group stage, Swiss stage matches, and then we do playoffs on Sunday. They're looking for 3 wins or more, and then otherwise it's kind of like up in the air depending on the math related to that. And do we already have the matchups determined for tomorrow? Do we see now, or are we calculating it later?
Well, you can see those ones there. Roffelcopter versus Hamster Zone will be the first one on the main stream. Cat of the Day Triumphant will be on B stream. Stroll versus Do This IRL will be on C. And Pingmania versus Paradise off stream. I think, actually...
now, they've already put a score line for Pingmania versus Paradise, so I don't think that's right.
Because they asked if they could play it later tonight, and we said that's fine, because we'll just put you as if you were off. So
okay.
That one's already done, so there's only 3 matches going to happen, and then we'll get into the second round, starting from, I guess, 4 tomorrow.
Okay. Makes sense. It's all explained there. So all the rules are laid out. So if you don't get it, then that's your own fault. It's your own fault if you don't understand it at this point. Are there any other closing remarks that we need to give to anyone? Any other context? Because if not, then I think we're in a pretty good spot.
I think we're pretty good. Big thanks to everyone who helped out today. If anyone who's watching is interested in casting, you can go to the Avast Discord and go to the tournament announce channel. You can hop on one of the B streams or C streams, even if you haven't done it before.
Now, something that's asked as well is: are all the teams going to play on the Avast channel at some point, or are we just not able to fit it all in just because of the logistics?
It's not mathematically possible. We'll do our best because there are 8 matches that we do on the main stream, which means 16 teams. But of course, it's only the first round where it's all split up nicely. There's going to be at least 1 overlap. So
okay,
we'll do what we can, but it's not fully possible.
Not guaranteed, but it's like you'll probably get the majority of them in there. It's just you can't get everyone just by the math.
Course, that's only for Swiss, and then some will then at the top half get through to the bracket anyway, and we'll have some on the A stream. So we'll try and make sure that everyone gets on at least once. It should be
makes sense. Well, been a good first day. Lots of interesting results so far. We still have to finish it up tomorrow. And what time are we going to be back tomorrow? 3 p.m. Eastern, correct?
Yep.
3 p.m. Eastern on the same channels. Right there. It's on the banner. So if you can't read, unlucky. Maybe become literate. but it's also on the banner there. But we're going to be back 3 p.m. Eastern on this channel, on Bad Batch Mario League, and on BPL_2. So all those are going to be the channels that'll be broadcasting all the matches for tomorrow for the final set of the Swiss stages. So well done to everyone that participated today, all the teams, the players, broadcasters, producers, observers, blah blah blah. The whole group, everyone did fantastic. But we're going to be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. EST, and I hope more collegiate players are skipping their matches to show up here because it's just funny to me. It's funny to me. So in that case, we can go ahead and send it out. Do we have like an outro screen, or do we just end?
We'll just throw it to the break scene, but it says thanks for watching.
Okay, throw it to the break scene. It says thanks for watching. There we go. Throw it there. Let's send it that way.